Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Yep, that's right. How are you? How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. Did
Yeah.
you do anything within your 3 to 4 weeks?
Mm, it's definitely not been 4 weeks, right?
It's I think it's kind of technically been three.
Um, done a decent amount. A lot of
Okay.
it's League of Legends.
Okay.
What?
No, you can talk about League. I'm just gonna be taking my nap. I'm just gonna
Wow.
recline all the way
All
back.
right. So Lego of Legends was pretty cool.
Uh,
I've been trying to play ranked more, and I'm bad at
at
it.
ranked?
So I mean, I think I'm just bad at League of Legends, maybe.
Oh no,
I
what
don't
the
know. Been losing a lot lately. I am sadly in bronze, which, fucking shocker.
I don't.
Uh there's bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, master, challenger, some shit like that. Um so those are like the levels you can go through.
Mm,
So you start out basically in iron and bronze, one of those two, and then you work your way up. And I can't climb out of bronze, I keep losing, going back down from like bronze 4 to 3. Or no, 3 to 4, whatever. Anyways, so doing bad at that shit. Still trying though. The League of Legends North America Spring Championship just happened.
hmm
Um,
Okay, let me readjust my chair. Go ahead.
they're no, you're good. They're
Okay. I put it too back, too far back.
he's like, hold on, let me do my taxes real quick.
Go ahead.
The team I follow, Cloud9. I watch kind of everybody's games just to like see what's going on and how they play and who's
Hmm.
good and who's not. Um, but Cloud9 was left uh as number one. Um, FlyQuest was number two, and then another team named Golden Guardians was number six. And through the lower bracket run, Golden Guardians made it all the way to the end to fight FlyQuest. It's best out of five,
Hmm.
the games. So whoever wins three first. And it ended up going to full 5 games against FlyQuest, and Golden Guardians ended up winning, which was a big ass upset. And then Cloud9 played them and lost one match to them, and then won the rest of them and won the whole tournament for the spring split, which means they're going to go to the international tournament in
Where is
France,
it?
I think.
The
France,
French.
Paris, one of those. Um,
Hmm.
and they get to play against some of the best people in the world, which I have a lot of hope, but they don't ever win. So I don't know. Their team looks pretty good this year, but
S- so
watching like everywhere
so
else, they also look good.
so they're the best in the U.S. Cloud
I mean,
Nine.
they won in the U.S., so technically
Okay.
they've won for the past like 4 splits. So
Okay.
they've won a
So
good amount in the past 2 years.
so which country has won internationally?
Internationally, the most like is it called decorated? The most winning nationally is Korea usually.
Of course. Of course.
Um, the second would I think be China. China and Korea are the two.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, the UK has won Worlds once. The final one, like the Super Bowl kind of for esports league, is called Worlds, and the UK won once. North America's never won, and
Okay.
then Korea won a bunch of times, and I think China, maybe even Japan won maybe once. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I would imagine because I don't know, I've always seen that South Korea has always been the best at
Yep,
those particular games. Um,
almost everything, man. It's crazy how good they are.
yeah.
But it's also treated differently there than it is here.
Mhm.
Um, I
It's like
don't.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think like physical sports are too sought after there. I'm sure there are some, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Usually, esports is the things that they are usually good at. But, like the only way I know about like South Koreans being really good at something is Tekken. Like in the fighting games, like Koreans are very well known to be good at Tekken, up until people from Pakistan. Like
Huh.
it wasn't until Arslan Ash, that FGC player from Pakistan, like won he won Evo for Tekken. And at that point everybody's like, whoa, like are there like unknown killers from Pakistan? And then
Eh,
and some of those guys from the FGC took a trip to Pakistan to and they went with Arslan Ash, and he basically showed them, he's like, this is where we play. And they started playing against like other people from the area, and they're like, yo, like these people, like they know what they're doing. These players are like unknown killers.
it's cool as shit.
Yeah, it was really wild. It was really, really cool. But yeah, South Korea is usually pretty good at like the esports as far as I know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not North Korea.
Do they even have
Nope.
league?
I don't think they have. I mean, maybe Kim Jong, fat guy.
Yeah, that one. You got it.
Maybe he has his own
Plays
league server there, but I doubt it.
maybe. We don't know.
Sorry, I just don't like that person.
I think anybody
I'm not
does.
sorry. Fuck him.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Mhm.
yeah.
Besides,
So like, you already said South Korea is very good at video games, or esports in general.
Mhm.
It's crazy because like one of the guys that's known to be literally like the best player in the world, is called his online name is Faker, and he's like posters around the city, like all that shit. Like
Mhm.
he's so fucking well known there. He's basically like the equivalent of like whatever LeBron James, right? For them, it's insane, dude.
yeah,
And like I heard, I like watched some stuff about it, and I'm just like, how fucking cool is that? That's crazy.
yeah, to be that well known.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Especially for like something that like we don't consider like important, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, because like esports never really went anywhere. I remember, I think, I'm trying to remember which US broadcast tried to show like an esports thing. Was it?
oh, ESPN did it.
Yeah, it was USPN. Sorry,
I think they
ESPN.
used ESPN too, and they
Uh-huh.
used the broadcast league.
Yeah. Okay. Do they still broadcast esports on
I
those
don't think
channels?
so.
Okay.
They might, but so it's kind of hard when it comes to esports being broadcast because at least for league, if you want to take a break in the middle of a match, kind of like in the middle of football, right? On the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
there's breaks they can take to show some like um what's it called? I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. They can show some
Ads.
yeah, they can show some ads and then go right back to the game and be like, well, you didn't miss anything. Here we go. And in esports, it's like, no, this shit's still happening. They
Yeah.
could technically put it on delay, but like, why would I watch it on TV with a delay
Mhm.
when I could just go watch the broadcast live from Twitch
Twitch. Well, I mean, Twitch
and
still has
not
those
miss it?
ads.
Right, but again, like if I'm subscribed for $5 fucking dollars,
Yeah.
or um, the way I watch it is through their website directly,
Mm.
using YouTube. And
Okay.
like I'll hit an ad every once in a while, but I actually don't think I ever hit an ad until the game's over. Like the match is over, then an
Mhm.
ad, then it's back into another game next or whatever.
That reminds me. It's not part of the news week, but did you see like the new thing from HBO?
Yeah, dude.
how
I don't know why they want to
how
rebrand.
how wild is that? But did you see the subscription plan that they have?
Yeah,
There's like,
ads.
yeah, it's like 3 tiers.
You know,
It's, it's
Hulu
called
was doing that shit.
having 3 tiers.
Yeah, they have one where you can pay like I think $5 and get ads. I was like, who the fuck would pay to watch ads?
Yeah, but like their highest tier, well, according to the new branding, Max, uh, like they're, I think it's like $15 or $17 for like no ads.
It's
I think it's
15, if not 15.99 or something.
yeah, something like that. And
Which
it's
of course
like
is gonna be more than 15, right? So
yeah,
tax bullshit. And then they have like a $25 one, which is like without ads, premium.
super premium, ultra deluxe. Yeah. Stupid.
It's dumb shit. Uh, the only other league thing I wanted to talk about was a very well-known organization inside of League is getting bought out. Um, they so Madison Square Garden owns a team called CLG, which is Counter Logic Gaming. And I don't think they want to be. Well, I mean, they don't because they are getting out of it. They don't want to be in the scene anymore, so they're just selling to a team called NRG, who had been in the league before. So they kind of been known, but a lot of people are disappointed because CLG was like kind of the start of like the first like well-known American team for league, and like a lot of people are disappointed. Personally, like I'd be more disappointed obviously if it was like someone like Cloud9 or I don't know, honestly, like FlyQuest now because they're kind of good. So it's just something interesting that happened. I watched the Riddicks.
As soon as you stopped talking about League and said the name Riddick, I just like some like sensory neuron shit just happened in my head.
I was like, finally, League's gone.
Finally, we can talk about how cool Riddick is.
I can't remember because it's been a while, but you had said something about like.
What did I say?
You think he's full of himself? I don't know, because you're like he's so cool.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like they wrote him in the sense that like he's so cool, that it's just like it gets to the point of like kind of egregious, but not to the extent where like I start hating the film. It's just like, oh man, here we go again, Riddick and his super coolness. You know,
Well, in the first one, he didn't feel that way to me.
are you well to you? But there was
right.
I was about to say, but there was a character that's like, look how cool Riddick is, and it's that character Jack.
You talking about the kid?
Yeah.
It's a fucking kid. Of course the kid's gonna like look up to the cool guy. He's the coolest fucking guy out of those dumb fucking pieces of shit.
That's
the
true.
Fucking dumb drug addict that's like, oh man, I'm the sheriff. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But so like, anyways, let me just fucking give you the whole like.
Okay, yeah. Give me your review of the Riddick
Let
trilogy.
me give you the fucking overall real quick.
Oh god,
fuck those movies are bad. Fuck those movies are so bad.
Yeah.
But with that said, there is a reason I love them because like they are still like. So back in the day, the reason I loved it was because fuck Riddick's cool. One, like back then he was super cool in my eyes, like just a badass character. It wasn't the same old superhero to me, like, you know, like, oh, another Superman, another.
Yeah, because he's an anti-hero.
Yeah. So like it was, I think that was like my first real introduction to that type of thing, and it just felt cool. I really liked it. I just liked that he didn't really have superpowers. He just one of my favorite lines was, "It's a shine job."
Well, that's the thing where I kind of have a bit of a criticism, is because literally in 2 is where it's like, no, he has a superpower now.
Yeah.
Where he's super cool alien race that heals quickly and can also have, he's like super flexible, like he's like kind of like double jointed sort of.
Kind of showed it off when he got out in the first one.
Okay, so you watched all 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your review on Pitch Black.
Oh no, they were all pretty bad. But so when we had talked before, I didn't remember how like poor the CG was.
Oh, the CG's really like, it's aged really badly.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of a movie that came out.
I have to go watch something that came out back then, like next to like.
Because it was 1999.
That to see like what felt bad, but 1999, like the 1990s, they were pretty ass at doing anything CG.
Um,
Yeah,
the first Matrix.
that's still gonna hold up. Not too bad.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot of CG in that though.
In the Matrix?
Yeah, it was a lot of like,
No, they did a lot of CG in that.
mm, like the floating guy,
The floating guy,
the metal guys.
the spinning around shot,
That's
uh,
pretty one shot.
the bullet dodging.
I mean, you can like when it's CG done to him specifically, like jumping and falling or that and that. I think it looks bad, yeah. But like again, like a lot of the like fighting and stuff where they're just on wires, like never really felt too bad. Or like
Trying to see the rest of the. You know what? Let me look at action movies. What the fuck? Why is Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai and 1999 friendship movies? That's not a. Why is Fight Club a friendship movie?
because he's friends with the guy in his head.
Stop it. Spoilers.
My bad.
Action movies. From Dusk Till Dawn 2? Oh, The Mummy. That had bad CG. Wait, was The Mummy? No, it was The Mummy Returns, right? Where they had Scorpion King in there. Do you remember that?
I thought it was like the Mummy Scorpion King or something. Is it literally called the Mummy Returns?
It's The Mummy Returns has a thing with the Scorpion King coming in, and it's that bad CG, The Rock face. I think it was Mummy Returns.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, but yeah, continue about your Riddick.
Oh no, it's just it wasn't as good as I thought it was. I actually had trouble going through the second one. Just because like it right away they just throw you into this thing where it's like we gotta fight.
So
And these are the evil, whatever.
yeah, so that's the thing is that there was one thing that I have to say I did like what they tried to do with the second one, where they tried to expand the universe a little bit, but they tried to do too much of different elements that it felt like it was way too crowded. Because when they basically were like, "Oh, Riddick, you're the chosen one," it's just like, okay. Like, now we've gotten into the full hacky story bullshit of like Riddick is the chosen one. He's so fucking cool that he's the chosen one. Did you know, by the way, he's part of an ancient race that died out because the necromongers took over their planet? How did you feel when they said necromongers?
It made me feel like I could also be a monger.
Of necroism?
No, a hate kind.
I didn't even know that Carl Urban was in that. It was weird seeing him in that.
I don't know who that is.
Carl Urban, he was I think at this point I don't even remember his fucking name in that movie because he was like kind of like a nothing character. But yeah, they tried to like do too much with its plot, and then the return of Jack, played by that girl from, I know her from The Man in the High Castle, but I don't remember what else she's been in. And she goes by Kira, and I kept thinking about my cat. Yeah, like I said, they tried to do too much, but the one thing that I do have to say is one of the neat things is them expanding their universe a little bit. But I feel like that kind of falls apart when you get to the third movie, because the third movie just feels like a rehash of the first movie. It feels like, what if we had the budget and kind of did the first movie a bit better, is what the third movie was. And the CG looks a little bit better.
Very slightly.
Slightly.
Does not feel that much better.
It's slightly better. Because it came out in 2013? Yeah, 2013. Did you enjoy Riddick?
No, it was all not very good. I mean, I really don't have like a ton to say about it, just because
Mm,
like they all kind of just blend to me.
okay.
Um,
The second movie is the only thing that feels different, but the first and the third movie feel like the same exact thing.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Again, like I think really what you said before,
Mm,
last time we talked about it, like the writing's just pretty bad.
yeah.
I mean, it's meant to be actiony and kind of like it kind of feels kind of just made for Vin Diesel just to be like, "Hey, I'm a superhero."
Yeah.
In this.
I'm a cool anti-hero. I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about family.
Ugh.
Uh
Yeah. Yeah, now he's in a whole different fucking universe. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Oh, if they make the other one, I'll probably go see it still, or
The
maybe not go see it, but I'll watch it.
the fourth Riddick or
Yeah,
okay. I was gonna say I still gotta play that game. Those two games, I should say.
I wouldn't mind trying them actually. What else did I fucking do, man? I haven't touched
What else?
Destiny. That's pretty good.
Good, good, good for you.
Uh, Shit, I did stuff. Oh, um, so in my League of Legends climbing in the ranked matches, I used to listen to music, and I was like, man, I don't want to listen to music. And then I was like, I kind of want to listen to a show, but I don't want to stream something in the background and fuck my like internet.
Mm,
At least like not internet, but stress my computer because my computer's shitty.
mm,
So I don't want to stress like the components to not be able to run the game. So I was
yeah.
like, what can I do? And I was like, oh shit, you know what I haven't listened to in a long ass time? Podcasts. So
Mm,
I was like, yo, let me fucking put on this podcast I used to listen to called Sword and Scale. Have you heard of this or have I talked to you about this before?
no.
Okay. Sword and Scale is like I'll call it one of the most like intense what are they called? Not murder mystery, but real murders where they talk about that. What are the stuff called?
True crime?
True crime, thank you.
Hmm.
One of the most like heavy true crime podcasts that I again like when I used to do like a lot of outside work and stuff, I would just constantly listen to something. So that's what I would listen to.
Mm,
And man, dude, I forgot how fucking shitty the world is until I listened. Well, like it's shitty
yeah.
in other ways, but like
Yeah.
how like horrible people can be. And I was just like, man, and like it's so good too, by the way. Like just
What's
I
it
don't know,
called?
some Sword and Scale.
So you would think from that title it would be like a D&D kind of thing.
Well, because Sword and Scale is like the justice system, right?
Oh my god, I didn't even make that comparison. I completely
Right.
forgot. Yeah, the justice is blind kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to think.
My fucking nerd ass brain is like, ooh, Dungeons and Dragons.
So there were two of them. There were
What?
two of them that I watched or
Mhm.
watched. Jesus,
Oh,
the two that I
listened.
listened. One of them's kind of like way too fucked up, so I'm not gonna like mention that, but I'll
Okay.
mention the other one, which is still like they're all fucked up to be real.
Mhm.
Um, but the latest one I listened to, this kid, um, he what did he do? He was invited to a sleepover, um, and like I don't know, like maybe five kids are sleeping over, and he brought a knife with him to the sleepover, which already I'm like, what the fuck? And then like so the
Uh,
mom's sleeping, the brother of the kid that's living there is sleeping, and then or yeah, so the brother's sleeping, and then there's like three or four kids downstairs, and one of them's like, I need to take a shower, and they're like, yeah, whatever, go take a shower. And he like goes and he like takes his knife and he's looking at it in the bathroom. Like a fucking psychopath.
Jesus.
And like before anything happened, like even before he went to go take a shower, he was like, I really want to stab someone tonight. And to these kids, he told them, and they were like, "Oh, that's just Josh." And I was like, "No, like who and the fuck is just like, ah, that's Josh. That's just Josh." Like that's what they thought. They were like, "No, it's just Josh." Like,
I think the real question is, why did they invite him?
oh, so like one of the kids had a birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and like apparently he was like super inclusive, so he was always like, "I don't want anyone to be like felt left out," basically.
Oh, you little dumbass. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, so like the kid took a shower, or whatever, and then he was like, "I need to sharpen my knife." This kid just keeps getting weird, bro. Like, nah. And so like here's the next part, right? Like, so they ask like, because obviously this kid's still alive. Um, the one that like, so he ends up killing the fucking kids at the party. He stabs them all, kills them. The
Jesus.
mom hears, and these are the mom's kids, by the way. Like some of them are.
Uh-huh.
So the mom hears like, and the mom's like, I fucking go out of the room, and I'm like, what's going on? And the kid that stabbed the kids is like, oh, it's fine, go back in your room. And the mom's like,
What?
the mom just goes, okay. I was like,
What?
did I? Do you understand how fucking like I'm losing my mind hearing this, bro? And the mom goes back in her room and like lays down. I mean, she asked like, "Are you sure?" Like, "Oh, is you sure everything's okay?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, and it's really ominous because like the mom is like, what he actually said was like, "I'll make the noise go away." What, dude? So like the kid is just like telling her like it'll be fine, and then the noise gets louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and the mom's like fucking over it. She just starts going upstairs and she's like, because she can't sleep and she's annoyed and she's like, y'all need to like shut the fuck up, like stop. And she gets up there and she sees like dead kids. And she's like, what the fuck? And then the kid comes out, lunges at her, tries to stab her, does successfully stab her a few times. She makes it out of the house, which like, I don't know. I don't know like if I feel annoyed at that or not. Cause like one of the kids is still sleeping. So your
Yeah.
son is still in the bedroom, which like does she know or not? So like what you can't really fault them in this situation, but
Mm.
at the same time, it's kind of just a feel bad situation. So anyway, she calls the cops, whatever they come through. They pick everyone up, and the story's told through they have like actual taping from the mother who speaks on it to the police, the brother who speaks on it to the police, and then the killer who speaks on it to the police. And what had ended up happening is the kid idolizes Hitler. He not joined, but like had been watching videos on ISIS and how everything they do, uh, how to learn to do what they do, and how to praise like Allah and like, which like Allah and stuff like actually doesn't have like anything to do with it. It's just really the whole ISIS situation, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the killing and the murdering through that type of stuff. It has nothing to really do with the religion, I don't think, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the people that choose to murder in a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then choose to brainwash other people into thinking that that's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there was just like some stuff that they were like, the kids would like, he would like, yo, you guys, we should watch this ISIS video. Like, that's what he would say to them. And then they would be like, no, we're trying to like watch Power Rangers. And the kid, and like, he took offense to that basically. And was like, again, like I said, he said he wanted to stab people that night.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, you guys are making fun of me, so I'm going to kill you. And then like the brother was like, so that, he's like, the brother was like, he said he wanted to stab someone. We never believed this guy because he's just never did anything. So we always just thought like he's weird, but he would never be too weird.
Mm.
Um, so
And
yeah,
then
that's just like one example of like the shit. There's a lot of graphic shit that like they'll go through. And again, it's just like a podcast, so you don't really see anything, but it's just kind of crazy, man.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
uh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds really crazy, but this type of shit is just like, it's interesting to hear how fucking psychotic people can be
Mm-hmm.
because you hear about it on the news sometimes, like these things, but they'll never go into detail. And then, like, just to hear people speak about it that were like firsthand, it's like, fuck, man. Like, I don't know. You just feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Just like crazy fucking situations.
I mean, that's also the other thing is that like I know a lot of people have really mixed feelings about true crime podcasts because of the fact that like I wouldn't say it's glorified crimes and stuff like that, but it's like it got to a weird point where like what was it last year or like the year before? I think it was during the pandemic where like true crime podcasts just like went up and people and like it got to a point where like advertising true crime podcasts were like the thing, and then you just hear like all these like really horrible stories that happen, and it kind of makes you view the world as really shitty.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a tough thing because like uh it's kind of like unsolved mysteries though, you know, like
Yeah, that's true.
you always had that there. This is just like the new age version. Although it feels like there's a lot more just because like there's so much access to it now, so you can pick and choose which one you want.
Yeah.
Um, but to like touch on what you said about it, like people are really shitty. There was an episode that I listened to, and I specifically like it was so hard to listen to. I made it through it, but it made me feel so fucking sick that that's like I haven't listened to it since then. So like
it was that bad.
yeah, it like I don't want to get into it. It's just gross
Yeah.
shit that like I was like, you know, the way that somebody could think that way, like fucked me up. And I was like, oh, I don't want to hear this for I don't know how long.
Okay.
And then recently, like I said, I was just like, I don't know. I just want to like not really hear ever anything like that again. Like if I ever hear anything close to like being making me feel bad again, I'll just like
turn it
walk
off.
away.
Yeah.
But it's still stuff that like interests me to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll probably check out an episode and then come back next week and be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
It's like, dude, how the fuck do you listen to this? It's gross.
It's so gross. I don't like it.
There's poop on the wall. There's poop on the ceiling.
Did you, anything else that you did?
Wait. I tried to get into the X Defiant beta. I haven't got in yet. Trying to.
Oh, okay. The closed beta.
Cool.
I saw like little clips of it. It looks okay. I mean, it's gonna be free to play, so
you wouldn't know what cool is, so I'm not.
No,
worried
I don't.
About it.
I don't.
You
I don't
don't
know.
even know how cool Riddick is.
I'm not gonna even answer that at this point. Ugh.
God, this guy loves Riddick so much.
He's so fucking cool.
He's a Riddick rider.
Riddick. Anything else besides Riddick and X Defiant and crimes?
No.
That's it. Jesus.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I came to this TED Talk of Riddick and true crime.
Oh God, fucking Vin Diesel and murder.
I guess I could talk about my week or my weeks.
What did you do?
I played a shit ton of RE4.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, hold on. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself to get comfortable because RE4 Remake is a really good game. Bro, I am on my like 6th playthrough of that game.
A 4?
Yeah.
Remake.
Yeah.
Why 6?
Because the trophies.
Really?
Yeah, but like, yeah, and also unlocking weapons. Because so it's in order to get like certain weapons, you have to do like unlocks or like get different ranks or like. So the one that I went for, that didn't take too much time, obviously because of how I got the weapon. Because I got the infinite rocket launcher. And one of the achievements was to beat the game in like under that's the thing is that each difficulty has like beat the game in under a certain amount of time. So I'm trying to remember. I think it was like beat the professional difficulty under like a certain amount of time. No, it was to get A rank, I think, on professional to unlock a weapon, but you also get something if you beat it. I don't remember. I actually don't remember, but I know I beat the game in like within like 4 hours, maybe less, because of the infinite rocket launcher, because that weapon in particular trivializes the entire game, because you can just one-shot bosses and that's it. But the other issue is that you can't fire that weapon up close because you're gonna get hurt. But RE4 is just super fun, and like I said, I'm on my 6th run right now. I'm trying to do well. I basically put the game off to the side because like I said, I'm already at my 6th run. But the achievement I'm trying to get is just to play through the game with only pistols and knives. Luckily, I got the knife that is like the infinite knife. So that's great, but I basically have to use like just pistols. And that excludes magnums. And I think I'm playing it on unassisted, so it's not too bad, but yeah, that's the thing I'm going after. But the thing I do want to get is the accessory item that is Leon's cat ears. So but that was basically the reason why I've been playing through this game like multiple times, is to unlock things. The biggest thing that helps with getting the S rank, or like the S plus rank on professional difficulty, is having Ashley wear the full suit of armor, and that's obviously something you have to go back, and I think you have to get like an A rank in professional. But the suit of armor helps Ashley not get kidnapped, because enemies try to pick her up and they can't. So that's why that's super important, because when I played through professional after I beat the stream, I played through professional, and if you accidentally shoot Ashley, that's it. Like, you get game over. So I was like, fuck. Oh, and the other thing about professional is the parries are you have to time them perfectly. So there's a boss, Krauser, where there are moments you have to use the parry, and I just kept whiffing, and I didn't say it would suck, or it does suck. It's just like, it's rough.
Did you get aggravated?
Not really, to be honest. Yeah, not really. But the thing is that to get like the S plus rank, I'm trying to remember, the requirements are you have to beat the game on that difficulty on professional in under 5 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
You have to use no bonus weapons, so that excludes the hand cannon, I believe the infinite knife, and the infinite rocket launcher. So you cannot use those weapons. And you have a limited amount of saves, so you can only save 15 times. There are 16 chapters.
So one chapter you can't save.
Basically, yeah.
You have to save that save for the last chapter.
Yeah, basically.
Jesus Christ. That sounds like a bad time.
Yeah, it's kind of rough, but the thing that you get at the end is Leon cat ears, which is the accessory that gives infinite ammo to everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's also the point, is that, like, you know, you're basically done with the game once you get that. But I only have like a handful of achievements to get. The 3 of them that are going to be a little rough is going to be the shooting range stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But yeah, RE4 remake is still pretty fun, but I had to put that game off to the side because I was just like, I'm playing this game way too fucking much, to the extent where it's almost feeling like I did with Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 7, where it's just like I just did multiple runs of those games, just to unlock all the trophies, which wasn't like horrible, but it's like you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I gotta stop. Like, I gotta do something else, or play something else at least. Um, yeah. So that was happening. Uh, Speaking of Resident Evil, I was also playing because I forgot that like there's a couple of achievements left that I didn't get once that DLC hit for Resident Evil 8 Village, where you got to play mercenary mode with like the newer characters, and you also got to play Shadow of Rose on the hardest difficulty, I think on hardcore, and that's basically it. So then I could get all my trophies, but that's besides the point. Resident Evil. As for shit that I actually played that was not Resident Evil, you ever play the game Journey to the Savage Planet? Or you do know anything about that?
Uh, isn't that another one of those like planet games where you can go to multiple planets, or no?
No. So,
Okay.
basically, Journey to the Savage Planet is it's a first person Metroid like game. Where you're on this planet, you basically have to explore it, but you know it's like Metroid, where you have to do certain things to unlock certain upgrades.
Is
And
this
then
game like Metroid?
Not really. Like I said, it's first person. So it's not really like Metroid Prime, even though I haven't
Oh
played
no,
that
I was
game.
just joking because you said it's a Metroid-like game,
Oh, okay.
and then you said it's Metroid-like again. So I was like, oh, is this game like Metroid?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, so it's weird because like you would, I started looking at this game and I'm like, did High on Life get like, did they take notes from this game? Because it's like there are moments where it's just like the color really like pops out. The writing is a little witty, but you know you're not having like weapons talk to you or anything talk to you. But it's like it's a very goofy game, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, you know, if you were to give me this game and say this was High on Life, I would be like, yeah, okay. It's like it's eerily somewhat similar, even though I haven't played High on Life, but like
Really?
it kind of looks like it. Yeah, it's really weird. But it really goes in with its goofiness because at the beginning of the game it asks you like what do you look like, and it has like several pictures of like people. But there's a picture of a dog, so I went with the picture of the dog. Like I said, it really commits to the goofiness because whenever your character gets hit, if you pick the picture of the dog, your character makes dog noises. Like you understand how goofy that is, right? Like you get hit by an enemy and your character whimpers like a dog. It's really goofy. It's really weird.
Sounds fucking awkward.
It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. And that's also the other thing is that you're playing in first person, so you see like your character has fingers. It's like yeah, it just goes in with its goofiness. I don't know how it would be if you like chose people, but the game does an interesting thing where it essentially it does have an end. You do see credits, but there's a post game where it's like, oh, by the way, you do need to get off this planet, so you have to find fuel. But the only way you can not the only way, but you can find fuel if you just explore, but there are certain little secrets that are kind of well hidden. There is a visor that you can get from an upgrade that basically you can like do like a sonar sense that shows you, okay, fuel is somewhere off in that direction. But the only way to get that upgrade is that you have to do certain challenges. And some of the challenges are a little wonky where I feel like it is kind of meh. Because like one of the challenges that like I still haven't done is essentially get these little chicken bird enemies in like a group and then get like this jellyfish enemy to explode on them and kill them. And it's like I said, it's a little wonky. But there's also DLC for the game where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this little part of the planet you haven't explored, so go check that out. Um, I don't know if this is really like a spoiler. I guess it is kind of, but I guess spoilers. The final boss looks like the great mighty Pooh at the end of Conquer. Not the end of Conquer, but like it looks like that boss from Conquer. You know Conquer, right?
I've never played it.
Okay, so there's a enemy or there's a boss called the Great Mighty Pooh, and the final boss of Journey to the Savage Planet looks like that. Mighty. Yeah, the Great Mighty Pooh Conquer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Great Mighty Pooh. Overall, I think it's a pretty fun game. You know, I was pretty invested in it for like the amount of time I played with it, which was like 7 hours. So it's not too long. Obviously, you can keep playing the game to get upgrades and to just explore a little bit more, and then there's that DLC which I haven't touched yet, but I will eventually. So yeah, pretty all right time I had with it. And besides playing that, trying to think, what else have I played? I've been trying not to start up so many games because I've lost count on like what stuff I've started up. I think, what was it? Oh, Octopath I'm still doing. I still got to do a little bit of grinding to get my levels up for each character. So I haven't really hit any progress on the story with that. I haven't really touched my PS5. I've mostly been playing on my computer for the most part.
Hey, fuck PS5, I agree.
Oh man, the PS5.
Can't wait to buy the Nintendo Switch 0.20.
I can't wait to play the Zeldas. Are you excited for the Zeldas?
Not really.
Wow.
I'm excited to watch someone else play it. I haven't been excited for Zelda in a while.
Can't believe you hate the Zeldas.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, you do. Don't lie.
Hate you.
Oh, that was a thing that I completely forgot about. So I tried to start up my computer to play Torchlight. My computer can't run Torchlight. I don't know if it might be like a
want to play Torchlight?
Yeah, just to see how it is.
It's okay. It's not really great.
I mean, I don't know because
I
gotcha. But that's the thing is that like I don't know if it's like a whole, you know, because with a lot of like
it was free on PlayStation at one point. No,
I think Torchlight 2 or 3, one of those Torchlight
maybe.
games. But I don't know if it might be like a core count thing that is going on with like with older games that can't run on like newer hardware. Like you gotta like deactivate some of your CPU cores in order to do it, but I haven't tried it out. Yeah, that's a whole thing that's happening now.
What?
So this was also something that was happening for so Stranger of Paradise, that Final Fantasy game that came out, the one that I played on PS5. So it came out on Steam like a couple days ago. So people are finding out that apparently the game is like incredibly frame ratey unless you turn off some cores. And then the issues with that just completely go away. And it's funny because I had this issue before with another game, with the Warhammer game that I played. What was it? It was Warhammer. Fuck, what was it? Space Marine. That's what it was. Where I remember I had trouble launching the game, but when I went to my like Ryzen it's called Ryzen Master. It's like an app that you can use to like set your CPU to do certain tasks and things like that. So there's an option for game mode. So I press game mode, and what game mode does is that it deactivates, I believe it deactivates certain cores in your CPU, and turning on game mode actually let me launch that game, which I was like, this is weird, but it worked. So like I said, a lot of older games, or like a lot of games now, are like having that issue with, you got to turn off cores for your CPU because there's some memory leakage that's happening. It's really bizarre. But anyways, yeah, I tried to play Torchlight. That's what I'm trying to get across. I went back to play the Surge a little bit. The Surge is the Surge. I did start up a little bit on Titan Quest. Did you ever play Titan Quest?
Holy shit. Yeah, I did.
How was it for you? It was
Hold on,
okay.
let me go Google this just to make. That was like a. Yeah, I did play this. It was fine.
Okay.
I liked it back then.
Okay.
Wait, is this the new one that you played?
Nope. There's only one Anniversary.
So I see
Steam.
one for PS4. It looks like no.
I think it might be Anniversary Edition.
Okay, I played the old PC one back in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I played this because I've had it in my list and I've been trying to scratch my itch for Diablo. That's why I wanted to play this.
Diablo 4, baby.
Diablo 4. And yeah, I played a little bit more of Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. That's a good strategy game. It's just there are certain moments where I kind of get like, I hit a wall because of like enemies having like crazy fucking levels compared to my characters. But it's not a terrible game. I still got to play through it. I wouldn't say I'm near the end, but I'm like somewhat close. And yeah, that's basically it for PC games, I guess. The shit that I played. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I played a demo for this indie game called Gal Guardians. It was called Grim Guardians, but they had to change their name to Gal Guardians, I think. Hold on. Yeah, Gal Guardians Demon Purge. I played the demo for this not that long ago. It's pretty fun. It's basically like a kind of like a throwback to Castlevania, but a little bit more linear. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I recommend checking out a demo if you want. Probably gonna buy it at some point. A game that I actually did buy that I haven't checked out yet, but I hear really good things about, is this game called Dredge. Have you heard about this game?
I feel like I know the name.
So the premise of Dredge is that you're on a fishing boat and the world is filled with eldritch horror around you.
Oh, this came out this year?
I believe so.
Okay, so I don't know it then.
Okay. But I just bought this game, so I haven't checked it out fully.
Okay.
I don't know if I should make it a stream game or if I should stream something else. But
It's indie?
yeah, I believe it's indie.
I'm looking at screenshots, so I don't know.
Okay. I believe it's indie.
Mm-hmm. Publishers Team 17.
Okay.
Developers Black Salt Games.
Okay, so Black Salt, I believe, is not huge. Team 17 has done, I think, Ukulele.
Sonic, right?
Weapon?
Sonic Team 17?
No, Team 17 has not done a Sonic game.
No?
No. That's only Team Sonic.
Well, no, I thought Team 17 was like with Sega. I thought.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't know.
Why are you saying these things then?
Because I have no fucking idea. That's why I'm asking. It was more of a question than an answer.
Wow, you're making just statements, bro? I believe
Oh
you were just coming here stating things.
Throw me over the fucking into the river.
I'm trying to think, what else have I played? Yeah, like I said, I haven't really played my PlayStation. I know the update for for Ghostwire Tokyo came out, I think like 2 days ago. So I've been meaning to actually check out Ghostwire Tokyo. But like I said, I don't want to start up too many games because I already have too many things that I've already started up and have not completed. Which is funny because that's kind of out of my wheelhouse of certain things I do when it comes to video games. I try to stick with one game and then beat it and then move on to the next thing. But yeah, that's basically. Oh yeah, Mercenary mode. I forgot to talk about that for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Pretty fun. I enjoyed
Is
it.
it a time attack thing?
Kind of, yeah, actually. Yeah,
Okay.
you kill the enemies, you get time, or you have to find like little stuff to give you more time. And yeah, you just have fun with it. I think the max amount of enemies you kill is 150, but so far, like getting S rank, you just have to get to like 100. A lot of people have said like this is kind of easier compared to the original mercenary mode. Uh, but I'm kind of fine with it. You know, I never really got into mercenary modes in RE4 original or RE5, because I know a lot of people praise RE5's mercenary modes and RE6, even though how shit RE6 story is. The actual gameplay of RE6 is kind of okay. But remakes mercenary is pretty fun. I think it's pretty fun. I know they're planning on adding 2 more characters, obviously Ada and Wesker. So Wesker, and apparently they're supposed to be a little bit more difficult. But like I said, I'm kind of interested to see
That's cool though.
that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Well, this happened kind of like in the week that we've been off, but it's not part of the news. But the whole thing with the voice actress that played Ada. Did you see this?
No.
So for RE4 remake, they got a different voice for Ada Wong, which happened to be the actress that played Ada Wong in that really shitty Welcome to Raccoon City movie.
Mm-hmm.
So people were complaining about her to the extent where they started harassing her on social media that she actually deleted her Instagram.
Huh.
So yeah, that was something that happened during the week where everybody was like, why are people so shitty? And it's just like, I don't know, people just were acting like assholes. And I don't think she did a terrible job. She was, there were moments where like she was a little stilted, but like not to the extent where like, even then it's like just harass her is just ridiculous. Yeah,
I mean, you shouldn't.
yeah,
You should not.
because that was also the other thing that like it was almost as resonant as like the whole thing with Laura Bailey. When Laura Bailey got harassed for playing Abby from The Last of Us Part 2, and like people were just going after her for no reason. But it was not because of her voice direction, it was because of what the character did in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something that happened during that week.
I actually do remember. I think you shared that with me. Or I saw you post something about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I probably posted it on Twitter. It'd be like, yo, doing that shit sucks. Don't do that. Don't
Yeah, almost word for word.
Yeah, don't fucking do that. Like,
People are people. Why
yeah.
why would you, you know?
Yeah, it's just like
People don't go to your Twitter and say you're really bad at shoveling snow.
okay.
Do your fucking job. I don't know. Whatever the fucking job these people have, like fucking people don't shit on you for your job. Like, don't shit on other people for their job.
Yeah, it was just weird of like, I don't know, just the mass harassment for just one person. I don't know. I think also that choice was also weird as well, where Capcom like was like, "Oh yeah, this lady played Ada Wong in a movie. Let's get her." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, the original voice for Ada was fine. She was actually good. But
I wonder if she wasn't available or something though.
Maybe, yeah. We don't necessarily know. That's also the other thing I wanted to mention. I haven't watched it. I don't think it's out yet. No, I think it comes out next month, but the Resident Evil CG movie that's supposed to come out, not Dead Island. I forget what it's called. Resident Evil Island of the Dead or some shit like that.
Resident Evil Alive Island.
Island Island of Death is what it's called. No, Death Island, excuse me, because I wanted to call it Dead Island. I'm like, no, that's the game.
Dyland.
Yeah, oh my god, they should have called it that. God damn it, Capcom should be calling you. There was a thing that I saw on Twitter that basically was like the reason, like, Jill looks like she's like 20 something. Claire still looks like she's in her 20s, and like Rebecca Chambers looks like she's in her 20s, is because apparently they were all infected with a virus, so the virus just made them young and hot, and that's it. Like, that's actually canonical. It's so weird. Resident Evil's stupid. I love that series. Uh, but yeah, I haven't really been like playing too many video games because obviously Resident Evil 4 has been like taking up my whole life. But I've been watching movies. I've gotten into a little bit more of the first Sin War book a little bit more because after you sent me that tweet of like, oh yeah, here are all the books, and I'm like doing the math of like, oh yeah, there's also these other books. Might as well just get this for like $18.
Oh, did you buy them?
Yeah, I bought them. So I'm like reading them on my phone.
How do you do that?
Read on my phone?
Yeah, I can't. Like, I can read like Twitter and shit, but a full book, bro.
I mean, the text is like, it's being done like, you know, you got to swipe, and the next page is usually the rest of that one singular page. But there's also options to like change text sizes and stuff like that. But those books you can either like get a PDF or you can get like something else. I forget what the other file type is.
I have them on like downloaded.
Mm.
I have read through like half of it on my computer, but it's weird. I don't know how to explain this. I think I get tired reading on my computer faster than I get tired reading on a book.
It's because of the screen, the whole blue light stuff.
Yeah, I can play a video game for like 8 hours.
Okay. Okay. I think it's because of seeing something that's stationary compared to like actual movement and stuff like that in a video game.
For sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
But then again, like I can read for like an hour and feel way more comfortable with it on a book than I can.
That's also,
I think you're right though. It's a combination of stationary and blue light, something like that.
But that's also the other thing is that I'm reading it in like dark mode, so it's not really straining my eyes.
Dude, how fucking amazing! Like, I'm sorry to get into this real quick, but I just have to ask you, how happy were you when everything went dark mode?
I was so happy.
Because
so
like,
I fucking hate light mode.
I can't remember what was the last thing to go dark mode that I was pissed off about. I'm just gonna like say like my Chrome browser or something because I can't remember what it was. But like something like Chrome was the last thing to go dark mode that hadn't had it yet. Oh, it might have actually been my Reddit app. And I just was like, bro, losing like every time I had to open it. I was like, why is this the only thing that doesn't have it? And when they finally got it, I was like, my life's complete. Thank you.
Yeah. No, dark mode really helps, especially fucking late at night.
Life changing.
Yeah, especially really late at night. Because yeah, I'm trying to read like a chapter a night, but it's not going so well. But I'm like, I think I'm on chapter 9 or 8. I don't remember of the book. I was not expecting the turn it's taking. Okay. I guess to kind of add the refresher, yeah, Ildician is just like, yeah, I'm now a messiah, and I'm going to assume Lylea has her own ulterior motives as to why she's like, I'm gonna be Ildician's mate for life.
Say the name again. Who?
Lylea?
Okay, I just don't remember her.
Okay, it's okay. But yeah, it's just like, you know, I think I left off from the book because it was like so many months ago. Was that like Ildician was being trialed, and then an inquisitor came to town, and he's like, yeah, you're guilty of this shit, so we're gonna probably kill you. And then a storm just happens, and it's revealed that Ildician is the one that caused the storm. And then afterwards, Lylea is like, yeah, you caused the storm, so that means you're the new prophet and messiah to basically disjoin, or like to stop all these like religious communes from coming in and trying to change the world. You're the one that's going to be changing the world. And then his friends are like, yeah, I guess we'll join you, but we're not really into the whole prophet shit. So it's a little weird. And then you have Odyssean's brother, Mendelin, I think his name is. Mendelin? Yeah, I think it's Mendelin. Where his Odyssean's brother is just like, yeah, I'm seeing like weird Diablo visions. Like I touched like a weird rock and now I see like weird demonic visions and I don't like it. Uh and yeah. It's
It's so funny though.
what just like seeing the
Yeah, I'm
Diablo
just
visions.
seeing these. There's a lot of like
There's a lot of
a
shit
lot
I'm
of weird shit
seeing.
going on now.
Yeah, I don't like it, bro. And you're being weird, and this lady that you just met is like really like on your dick all the time. Like I don't like it. Like I think this is the weird part that this story is taking is just like I would assume Lylea is like some kind of weird evil force or something. I'm going to make this assumption now. Because of how like she just whispers in the main character's ear and she's just like, yeah, like nobody can like yeah, nobody can comprehend your power essentially.
Yeah, she's like inflating his ego,
Yeah,
trying to make him like feel powerful, but it kind of seems like she's trying to control him in the same breath, right?
yeah, because there's also there was a thing that happened in the book where Cerinthia, the love interest, like sees them kiss and like hold hands and shit, and then she goes off to the woods and Lylea's like she just finds her and she's like, by the way, I really like the fact that you're here with us, but you have to understand that I'm going to be Odyssean's mate. I'm going to be his mate for life and I'll stand by his side. And
Yeah.
and Cerinthia's just like, no, I like him.
Oh, he's mine.
He's mine. I love him, even though he technically killed my dad, but still, technically.
He was just trying to help me.
He was trying to help me.
He said he'll make me famous and get me all the clout.
Oh, it's weird. Yeah, it's a very weird take, but I'm just very interested to see where the story goes from there because it's like, oh, our main character is just like, yeah, I'm a prophet, I'm a messiah. And it's like, oh, okay. And that's also the other thing is the thing that's a little goofy where I'm just like, yeah, these are fucking devil worshippers is like the Triune, I think they're called. Like the Cathedral of the Triunes. Yeah. Where it's like, here are our gods who sound eerily similar to these demons that you probably know of. Because it's like,
they're definitely not demons, though.
They're definitely not Baal, Mephisto, and Diablo.
Definitely not the guys from Diablo 2.
What does the title of the book say? Diablo? Yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh no, fuck. Oh god, we've been found out, boys.
Yeah, they're not devil worshippers. Don't worry about that.
Oh god, how do they know?
Yeah, it's interesting. But like I said, I haven't really gotten that far into the book. I'm only like on chapter 8 or 9 as far as I remember.
Yep.
And that's what's the other thing is the reveal of a monster just happens where it's like, wait, they have not seen a monster at all? Yeah, that was another thing that was a little whiplashy where it's like, huh, okay. But I don't know. Like I said, I really know nothing about the Sin War trilogy. So I'll probably keep reading.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Besides reading, yeah, movies. Let's go with movies. So I know we spoke about Guy Ritchie like I think a week ago. So I saw Guy Ritchie's magnum opus. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Is that the name of the movie?
No. It's Guy Ritchie's first movie.
I don't fucking know that.
So the movie I'm talking about is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Have you watched this movie?
Is it good?
It's good. I enjoyed it. It's very British. It's very British. But that's also the other thing is that like I can feel that Guy Ritchie took a lot of stylistic like notes from Quentin Tarantino. It's very obvious. But obviously adding the British flair of like British hoodlums. But it's still an enjoyable movie. There is a guy in there. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but he plays a character in that movie called Barry the Baptist. Uh,
Not Barry.
okay. The actor's name is Lenny McLean. This guy is phenomenal in this movie. He's this really big, older looking guy. He's very intimidating. And then I started to look up more stuff about him. Apparently he was like an underground boxer in real life. He has like a documentary on him about like his life in underground boxing, how he knows like Charles Bronson, the most dangerous criminal in the UK.
Interesting.
This guy has like a very interesting like back life. He used to be like a bouncer for like clubs and stuff, but like dude is huge. The very sad thing about this fucking like movie is that this was the guy's first and last movie he's ever starred in. He died like a couple weeks like after the movie was finished. And it's a shame because he is so good in this movie. Because he is so intimidating. Yeah, even at the end of the movie, there's like, we like to thank our friend the governor, because that's what he was called. He was called the governor.
Nah, that's a dope ass fucking. How cool would that be to have that nickname? You know?
To be called the governor. And it was like, yeah, because he's a big fucking dude, and I can imagine that he just someone calls him the gov.
The gov.
The
hey,
gov. Governor. But yeah, Vinnie Jones is also in this. You've probably seen Vinnie Jones's face, but he's been in like a lot of things. He used to be the Juggernaut in the old X-Men movies. That's Vinnie Jones. He also plays a character that I fucking love in this movie called Big Chris. Where essentially he's this collector that goes out with he goes out to get money for like certain jobs. But he goes out to get money with his son, little Chris. And so it's like this little hilarious thing where like he's with his son who's like maybe like 10 or 11. And he's like, his son is basically his partner in crime. And there's just like really funny moments where like his son like just like curses and he smacks his son in the back of the head. He's like, hey, I'm trying to show you how to be proper. Like, I'm trying to show you how to be a gentleman. And it's just really goofy moments like this. It was like, I fucking love this character. So like, what is his name? Barry the Baptist and Big Chris and Little Chris. Those characters are fucking.
That's hilarious.
These characters are fucking great, and it's hilarious how like in the movie the character Barry the Baptist got his name. It's just essentially he just takes dudes who owe money and dunk their head in water. And
that's pretty fucking great.
It's so goofy, and I'm like, this is a really fun movie. It's very, very fun. It's just like I said, it's a very Tarantino-esque movie. I think the similar comparison to this is like, I wouldn't say even Pulp Fiction, because Pulp Fiction tries to do like different stories while like characters from like the other stories kind of pop in out of nowhere, while this movie tries to have somewhat of a cohesive narrative of where basically these four guys in this group essentially try to they have this one guy who's really good at counting cards. But they go up against a loan shark who they think they're gonna win, but unfortunately they lose because the loan shark is basically cheating. Oh shit, my light just went out. I'm in the dark now, but you can still kind of see me. I should probably turn on my other light. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh yeah, it's because that's not connected. But yeah, the loan shark was cheating, and he's like, all right, he's like, you owe me like, what was it, like 500,000 within a week, and every day you're late, I'm gonna take a finger off your hand and if all your fingers are used up, I'm gonna take off the fingers off your friends for every other day. And it's just, and so basically they're just like in a predicament where they're like, fuck, we gotta pay this dude back. So it kind of just leads into a whole series of events of them trying to get money with these other characters that like kind of just come in out of nowhere. But yeah, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, really, I think it's a really fun movie. So the other shit that I watched, I watched I'm kind of up to date with the Marvel movies. Yes, with the Marvel movies. Not the series, but the Marvel stuff. So I've seen Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. They're okay. I think overall I can say they're okay. Wakanda Forever was kind of interesting because I was not expecting Disney to make a movie about race war.
I've actually never seen Wakanda Forever, so
that's basically the premise of the movie. It's just race war.
What a fucking nightmare! You think Disney would do that for sure?
But there was also a thing that was like, it's so stupid that it just made me realize how like similar, like just this whole like series of events of slavery. It's so weird. Because I never really thought about it, but it's like, oh yeah, that's true. Natives to like South America were enslaved by European Spaniards. So it's like, yeah, there's some similarities to the whole shit of Africans being taken from their homes and enslaved. So it's like, oh yeah. Man, it's stupid that a fucking Marvel movie makes you realize that. But yeah, they're okay. I would say out of the three of them, I think I enjoyed Quantumania a little bit more because of how weird it was.
Okay.
And then the second would have to be, I don't know. I'm a little mixed on Wakanda Forever because there's a thing with me where there's a whole tonal dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even tonal. It's just like there's this feeling that I have that just like feels a little weird when a whole story is revolved around somebody's death, but the actual person is dead. You understand what I'm saying? And they kind of like work it into a narrative. Because of what happened with Chadwick Boseman.
Can you say it one more time? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. You better be sorry. Sorry. So I feel a little weird. I feel weirded out that a story from a movie is using somebody's death as a narrative.
Okay.
That's what I feel weird about. Yeah, it's just a little weird to me. But the movie overall is kind of okay. And then Love and Thunder is also okay. The ending was a little goofy.
Watch Love and Thunder.
It's very goofy, really towards the end. But I didn't hate it. Like I said, like all these movies were okay. So I'm just gonna put the Marvel stuff to the side. I still want to watch Moon Knight because I hear really good things about Moon Knight. But I know I don't think I'm gonna watch the rest of them. Yeah. After that, okay. So there's this anime that I watched on a whim because I kept seeing online that it was getting like really good reviews. But before I talk about that, I'm gonna finish the rest of the movies that I watched, and I want to talk about this anime afterwards. So the other movie that I watched was the prequel to the Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon. You ever watch Red Dragon? So it has Anthony Hopkins, what's his name? Edward Norton. Yes, Edward Norton. Ralph Fiennes, the guy who played Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies. And I think that's it. But essentially Red Dragon is it's essentially a crime movie where Edward Norton plays a FBI agent and he tries to find a serial killer by the name of the Tooth Fairy. and he needs the help of Hannibal Lecter to basically find this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole premise, is that he needs Hannibal Lecter to basically do like a whole like analysis kind of thing of like, okay, where do you think he's gonna like strike next, or this and that. Um, and that's also the other thing, is like the beginning of this movie. This was before Hannibal Lecter got found by the same guy, Edward Norton, and basically the beginning of the movie is like Edward Norton goes to Hannibal Lecter and he's like, I'm trying to figure out this killer, and he's like this and that. He's like, I think I know what he's doing with the bodies. I think he's eating them. And Hannibal Lecter's like, he's like, what made you come to that conclusion? He's like, well, we haven't found any bones or anything, but he's been taking like specific body parts. And he's like, but these specific body parts, I know from like other people that it's for cooking and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it basically comes to a point where like Hannibal tries to kill him, and then he shoots Hannibal, and then Hannibal gets caught. Essentially that. So then that's why that's the setup for the rest of the movie, where it's like, okay, I have to go back to Hannibal because he was incredibly smart and he knows like the ideas of a serial killer. So let me go back to talk to him. And it's just interesting thing in this movie where it's like, oh, Hannibal Lecter's a narcissist. It's like the reason why he has such a grudge against Edward Norton is because he thinks Edward Norton is smarter than him.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing, is that like this guy has a grudge against Edward Norton because he's like, I got found out. How did you find me out? And Edward Norton's all like, it's probably because I had just good luck. And he's like, no. He's like, you're saying this, but he's like, I don't believe you. He's like, you think you're smarter than me. And it's just like this whole thing of like, oh, he's a fucking crazy narcissist psychopath. Okay. But it's a good movie. I really recommend it because Anthony Hopkins is still really fucking good.
Yeah, I think he's always been a good actor in a lot of the things he's done.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really been anything. He was in Man in the Iron Mask, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, with like Leonardo DiCaprio in that Iron Mask.
I know DiCaprio was in there. I just couldn't remember if he was.
Yeah, he was in the Iron Mask the whole time. Even in the first well, not in the first, but like even in Silence of the Lambs, like he's still really good. I still want to watch no, excuse me, sorry. I think the movie's just called Hannibal or something.
Hangable.
Because they tried to do a like a prequel called Hannibal Uprising, and that movie went nowhere.
I think there was a movie called Straight Up Hannibal before.
Yeah, let me look up the Silence of the Lambs. Because I think Red Dragon was like the third movie, but it was the prequel before Silence of the Lamb. Yeah, Hannibal. It was just called Hannibal. And it's basically like trying to find Hannibal Lecter after the first movie. But yeah, Red Dragon, I recommend it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty good. And a movie I just finished today was a Netflix movie called The Good Nurse.
Oh, I've heard a lot of people talk about that, actually.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
The Good Nurse,
it was, I enjoyed it so much that I started watching the documentary. Because it's based off a true story, right?
I don't even know what it's about.
Oh, okay. So basically the premise of the movie is so you have Jessica Chastain. You know who Jessica Chastain is, right?
Nope.
Okay. You have Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne. Okay. You've seen Jessica Chastain in
maybe
in something.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen the actress somewhere.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so Jessica Chastain plays this character. I forget her name. Is it Amy? I don't think it's Amy. Hold on. Trying to remember the character's name. Yes, Amy. And Eddie Redmayne was in the Fantastic Beasts movie. He's the main character.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool. Like
it's that actor.
nice.
Eddie Redmayne. Um, so basically, Jessica Chastain's character Amy is a nurse that works at a hospital, and when this new nurse, Eddie Redmayne, his name is Charlie, shows up at her hospital, they start to suspect that he might be the cause of death for a lot of patients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets to the point where it's just like, the movie is very well acted. It's a very good movie, but that whole sense of like, yeah, this shit is based on an actual thing that happened is very eerie, and it makes me really really fucking like nervous and worried. Um because of the whole thing of this guy Charlie not really giving his motive as to why he was doing this. Um and then you watch the documentary and like his reasoning is still muddled, but essentially I wouldn't say you suspect it at first, but it it does this thing where it kind of reminded me of the movie The Two Popes, if you ever seen that movie. It's also on Netflix.
You you know so many fucking movies. Like, and like these names are the Two Popes, dog. Like, what? No, of course
It was a Netflix movie.
No, but it's just like it makes me laugh because like I feel like most people I know would have not watched that, but
The Two Popes, and it's
to be
genuinely
fair, you watch a lot of good shit too. Like, I'm not like clowning you for what you're watching specifically, but it just makes me laugh. So I'm like, the name The Two Popes very funny.
no, because I kept hearing about how good The Two Popes was, and I was like, I'd probably check out The Two Popes.
How new is that though?
Huh?
How new is that?
The Two Popes, I think it came out in like 2017, 2018.
Oh, this is like fairly new.
Yeah, no, who's the people that star in it is fucking Anthony Hopkins as Pope Benedict, and I forget the other actor's name, but he's like another very well-known actor that stars as Pope Francis. Jonathan Pryce is his name. But yeah, like
Johnny Boy?
Johnny Price. But the reason why I'm making this comparison with The Two Popes is because literally The Two Popes has a moment in its story where Pope Francis confronts Pope Benedict, and he's like, I know that you've been covering up for these priests that have been known to cause sexual abuse. Yes. Like there's a moment in that movie where he talks to the Pope and he's like, I know you've been doing this. Like we gotta talk about this, or we gotta like take some action with this. And essentially the movie kind of just is like, we're gonna try, but there's no real guarantee. So there's this thing in this movie, The Good Nurse, where essentially these cops are trying to figure out who the hell is killing all these people. But at the same time, these hospitals are like putting up obstacles for these cops to not allow them to conduct their investigation. And the reason they're doing this is to look like they're safe and to make them not have any PR trouble, where it's like, you don't understand. People's lives are at stake, and you're doing this just to have some semblance of a good face. And it's just like this wild thing of like, it kind of does like a police procedural where it's like, all right, we're going to try to talk to these people at the hospital. We need to talk to each employee individually and basically ask them, have they seen anything suspicious? But then they're hit up by their superior being like, you can conduct your investigation. The problem is the hospital won't allow you to do it with just the employee. A representative from like higher up has to be in the same room as you. And the cops are like, that can't like, we're not going to get anything out of these people. They're going to be too afraid to tell us anything because their boss is literally watching them. And it just kind of goes from there where like the boss explains to all the employees that it's like, yeah, we're trying to conduct like this whole investigation with the police, but you got to remember, like they're being told by the attorney of the hospital that whatever you say could affect your job. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, what? But the other ludicrous thing is that after you get this whole intro with Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne, of them kind of having a connection with one another because, you know, they're both coworkers and like they both have some some similarities and something in common, like they start to become friends real quick. There's like a bit of a time jump where it's like 7 weeks later, and they conduct an investigation on a woman who died 7 weeks ago, and the police are like, okay, if you suspect a murder, we need to see the body. And they're like, well, we already gave the family back the body. And it's like, okay, so does the family have the body? And they're like, the family cremated the body. And then the police are like, how long was this incident? And they're like, 7 weeks ago. And the police are like, wait. You're conducting an investigation that for a death that happened 7 weeks ago, and you're working with the police now? And they're like, yeah, because we got calls about, some suspicious activity that's been happening. And it's like, what? Like, it just left me at a point where it's just like, what the fuck is happening? And I really thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, hospitals are just businesses. And the whole healthcare system is fucked because, oh, sorry, I'm moving my sides. This whole healthcare system is fucked because even the character that Jessica Chastain plays, her situation was real in real life, where she had like a thing with her heart where she had like blood blisters in it. So there was a point where she needed a heart transplant, but the problem was that she didn't have insurance because her insurance didn't kick in until a couple more months. So she confided in this guy Charlie and was like, I can't risk my job by taking time off because I don't have insurance, and I need this insurance in case anything happens to me, and my kids are fine. And I can also get help. So there's this whole thing of like, even medical professionals are not like covered, and it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, how fucked is the healthcare system in America, where it's like these people who are meant to take care of other people are not being taken care of? Like, it just blew my mind at this point, where I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, we are so fucked in our healthcare. But yeah, that's an actual thing that happened with the real person, where she's like, I was not insured, and I didn't want to lose my job because it's yeah, God, it's just rough, bro. But yeah, there's this whole thing in the movie where Jessica Chastain's character like confides in Eddie Redmayne, and she's like, she goes to take him to see her kids. Like, he basically becomes her best friend. And once she finds out that that she's suspicious of him, there's this whole eerie thing of just like, you let this dude into your house, like he acts wonderful to your kids, like you kind of know that he wouldn't do anything to your kids, but there's also that part of you that doesn't know if he would do anything to your kids. But with the amount of stuff that you know about what he's been doing, that he's been essentially messing with like the IV bags by putting in high doses of what is it called? Digioxin, something like that. Dioxin? No, not dioxin. It's like digioxin and high amounts of insulin, like clear,
not Digimon,
but like clear liquids into the IV bags to make people like, he was essentially poisoning people. And the fucked up part about it in real life was that he was just doing it at random with random IV bags. So any other nurse could have walked in, grabbed that bag, and put it with like any patient that they were working with. So it was anyone at random. That was like the fucked up part about it. It was hard. Like, it's horrible when you actually see the actual documentary.
Yeah, it's there's was he killing people? I'm sorry. Like, overall, he ended up killing people, right?
Yeah, I think at the end of the movie, and even the documentary, they're suspected that he killed like more than 400 people.
Jesus Christ.
And he worked like 16 years at hospitals.
I think they there was a few of been a few like nurses and doctors.
And this was in New Jersey.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I've actually heard about this before.
In Somerset, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's like not far from me.
Yeah. So he was responsible for like at least 400 deaths. But the movie I think overall is incredibly well acted. I really enjoyed it, as fucked up as it is. Because of the acting. The acting is so well done. Because just Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne just having like a normal conversation is like one of like, I want to say the most interesting thing, but it's like, oh yeah, like these two can genuinely act, where it's just like they're just talking about their kids and like all this other stuff, like just small talk, and it's like, yeah, like they can act like regular people, because they're actors. Um, but yeah, after I watched the movie, I watched the documentary, and it's just like you hear the the stories from other people who are like that were just suspicious of this guy, and they went to their higher ups and were like, yeah, like we suspect him of doing this stuff, and the higher ups, what they did was just let him go, and he just went to another hospital.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Okay, this is the exact story I know about. Yep.
oh, about
Yep.
Charlie Cullen.
I thought
Charles
it was
Cullen?
a female. Is it a female?
No, it's a male.
Male. Okay. Um, sorry, because I know Charlie can be male, female.
Mm.
Just one of those things. I was like, yeah, I've heard about this shit before for sure. I might have even probably not the same documentary, but I've definitely watched something about them before.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's very sad, because it's like in the actual documentary itself, when you're hearing all these people's stories where they're like, we tried stopping this guy, but for some reason these people above us kept letting him go, and he kept doing the exact same thing at other hospitals. And he's been doing it at like 9 different hospitals for the past 16 years. Um and yeah, when they finally caught him, he was just like indifferent. And then even giving his reasoning for why he was doing it never made sense. Uh but he's like, I think his parole, or like a listening for his parole, is like up in like the year 2403. So, and he was arrested in like what, like 2000 and something? Don't remember when, but yeah, you get this story from this one nurse who had a patient who was like this really big guy who was recovering, and then out of nowhere he just died. And then she was suspicious that this guy Charlie was just like doing shit, and then she reported it, and yeah, they just let him go, and then he went to go apply at another job at another hospital.
Jesus,
Yeah. So the good nurse.
that's
Uh,
just fucking crazy. That's just so fucking crazy. Dude.
it was nuts, because when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh yeah, this happened for real. And it's just like that eeriness of like, this happened in real life.
Yeah.
But that's also the other thing, is that like the movie's just so well acted, where it's just like it's so creepy when you have Eddie Redmayne just being like this really meek and shy guy, and then him being best friends with Jessica Chastain, and he's just like, he confides in her, and he's like, I can, like, you can confide in me, because in real life, when the lady was having like a heart panic attack kind of, when she was overworking, he goes into the system, because there's this thing that like, it's a computer system that has like these drawers underneath it. In order to access like medicine and stuff like that, you have to like put in your code, uh find the medicine, and
Yep.
basically get the thing open. So he was doing that, but the only thing that he was doing differently was that he was canceling the requests, but the drawers were still open. So that's how they kind of caught him, in a way where she saw him do that. And uh yeah, like I said, she basically confided in him because of the whole thing with her heart. um and at the end result, yeah, that's how he was doing that. He was getting like the vials of the digioxin, or whatever the fuck it's called, the dioxin, some shit like that. It started with a D. um he was just taking like loads of it, but like canceling the thing on the computer. And Yeah, you just saw prints of that stuff, of like him making these cancellations, and they're like, that looks incredibly suspicious. Um, and yeah, and you also hear from the cops as well, talking about like their frustrations with like the the higher ups at the hospital, where it's like the cops are trying to do their job. They're trying to find this guy who's killing these people, but the higher ups of the hospital are not giving them the amount of resources to find this guy.
It's almost like they don't care.
Yeah, it was essentially they just don't want to look bad and like not make money.
Yeah, that's more true. You're right.
Yeah.
It's for sure like they don't want to look bad.
Yeah. So it was just, like I said, it's this whole frustrating shit of like of multiple things, of healthcare workers not being insured and being afraid to lose their jobs, and then the healthcare system ending up actually being really shitty while trying to save face. And it's just like, god damn, we have a problem. We have a problem in the healthcare system. But yeah, I recommend watching the movie The Good Nurse if you haven't had a chance to watch it. And oh yeah, so the last thing I watched, well, not the last thing, well, yeah, okay, whatever. The last thing I'm going to talk about is this anime that I kept seeing on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Called Oshi no Ko. I hope I'm not butchering that, but like it's called Oshi no Ko.
Uh-huh.
I knew
like I know where this is going.
I knew nothing about this thing. I kept seeing on Twitter that people kept saying that go watch this with no knowledge of what this thing is. Okay. So I'm like, okay, bet. Go in. Would you like to hear the premise of Oshi no Koi? Or not Oshi no Ko, excuse me.
I think I know what this is. Go ahead.
So basically, this doctor in this rural town is a big fan of this Japanese idol. Okay. So this idol happens to come to his town, and he doesn't know why. So he becomes her doctor, and he finds out that this idol got pregnant. And he makes a promise to her, basically being like, I will ensure that your kids will be delivered safely. So there's a whole thing at the beginning of the it's basically a movie. I'll just call it a movie. There's a whole thing at the beginning of this movie where he talks about reincarnation, and he has this whole thing of where he had a patient who was the one who introduced him to that idol. Like this patient would listen to the music and basically have conversations with the doctor, being like, you know, if I was to be reincarnated, I would love to be the child of an idol or somebody famous, something like that. And the doctor's like, well, you know, that's a little goofy, but you know, your dreams are your dreams, essentially. So on the night of the delivery of the children, the doctor goes out, you know, this was before she was planning on delivering. He goes home, but he has a run-in with a stalker, and the stalker kills the doctor. So he's not there to deliver the babies, but the babies actually are birthed and they're fine. So where the story goes is that the doctor is reincarnated as the baby of that idol.
What the fuck?
She has twins, okay? So one boy, one girl. So the doctor ends up being reincarnated as the boy. The only thing is that for some reason, he is able to remember his past life and his past name. So that's the whole basis of this, is this like this doctor got reincarnated, and his twin sister is also a reincarnated person, which is kind of like, if you saw the beginning of this movie, you kind of know who the daughter is. Oh God, I kind of want to go into spoilers because it's just like how weird.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching this shit.
Okay. So spoiler time. Spoiler time. Okay, so the daughter character is the patient that introduced him to the idol because she was a girl. And she also remembers her past life. But they never say anything to one another of like, oh yeah, I was this guy in my past life or anything like that. They never say anything to each other about that. The interesting part of this movie is that they kind of show what it is in the life of an idol, but of an idol who is not that famous but is well known and really hasn't made any breakout career moves. Because in Japan, there's a lot of idol groups, but they never make it to like big, renowned, worldwide breaking records of anything.
Okay.
So it kind of has that little bit of like inside the industry of entertainment in that sense. So their mom, being the idol lady, tries to go for different career moves and stuff like that by being like an actress or like starring in commercials and stuff like that. And eventually she does reach that point. The only thing is that she does not reveal that she was pregnant or had children. So they basically keep the secret of the two twins being born because she had the kids at 16, because I completely forgot that the age of consent in Japan is 16. So yeah, there's that. So being a 16-year-old idol who's well loved, you know, that leads to problems for public relations with the management company being like, oh, you let one of your idols get pregnant, like how irresponsible are you as a management company? So basically the manager is like, all right, we're going to keep your babies a secret. You're not supposed to say anything about your kids or anything of you having kids. We're going to try to keep this under wraps. And then eventually when time comes, we will reveal that you have your kids. Great. Okay. Anyways.
What a weird fucking situation. This is, first of all, by the way, weird fucking anime to have.
It's very bizarre. I was not expecting it and where to go. Like where it was going to go.
So when you found out about this, you just like, what did you like know about it before you watched it?
I just kept seeing on Twitter that people were like, you gotta watch, like people who don't know anything about this gotta watch this because of how crazy this is. And I'm like watching this thing and I see the poster or like the image of what it uses. And I'm like, oh, it looks like a kind of like cutesy idol anime. And I'm like, okay, I'll just watch it in a whim. The reason why I'm talking about this is because of the ending. So let me get there, okay? Let me get there. So there's a bit of time skip that happens throughout the course of this movie. And remind you, this movie is supposed to be the prologue. Because this movie is supposed to be the starting point before the actual series starts. There's supposed to be an anime series that starts like later this year. And all, the other thing I want to like talk about is how fucking well that animation is. Holy shit, the animation is so good in this movie. Yeah, because it's an anime movie. But I don't know how the episodes are gonna be. But this is also based on a manga, and this is based on a manga of the author that did this other series that a lot of people praise about. Kaguya-sama Love is War is what the comic is called, or the other manga is called, but a lot of people really, really like that that series. A lot of people say it's actually pretty good. But anyways, it's by the same author. So yeah, the whole thing has some time skips where the kids grow up. They still remember their past, their past lives, and you know they try to see or try to help with their mother's career choices, by basically messing around with the wife of the manager by basically telling her that, oh, the reason why they can talk to her is because they're being possessed by divine spirits and shit like that, and if she does her end of the bargain, she will live a life filled with like luxuries and like she will get like a better husband and stuff like that. Just like dumb nonsense like that. So they try to push their mother to have a better career by being an actress and being a bigger star. So several time skips happen. The son character and the daughter character eventually get like their own little start to their own little careers as like the son character like gets to be like in movies and stuff like that because a director really liked his acting at one point and thinks he's really smart, and then the daughter character shows promise in like dancing and stuff like that. So it's like this whole little thing of like them being children of an idol is like, yeah, they can eventually lead a life of like success and things like that. So there's a lot of like interesting aspects to the mom character. I think her name is where they talk about her specifically. And her character is very interesting because she talks about her past in the sense that she was not loved by her mother. She was abandoned, and she does not know how to convey the feelings of love. And she loves to lie. So it's like this weird thing of this character of like, huh. But she basically tries to shove all those dark feelings with a face of playfulness and like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a I'm trying to think of the way of like how she like does this. Yeah, I guess playfulness is like one of just the main thing I want to go with, but like she talks about how like she lies in order to get feeling out of people. And essentially that whole idea of what she has essentially allowed her to continue on her career as an idol, where she's able to put on this face, this lie, to have these people love her and to give love back. But she talks about how the love that she's able to give back, she doesn't know whether or not that's real. So there's a whole thing that happens where she talks about how when she actually gave birth to her kids, she actually understands that feeling of love, and she's able to understand that love is a thing that she is able to give people. The unfortunate thing is that when she realizes this is literally when she dies, because that stalker character from the beginning of this movie.
It's just one fucking movie?
Yes.
Christ,
Yes.
dude, what the fuck?
This stalker guy that shows up in the beginning of the movie shows up to her house later on, and it turns out the guy is a fanatic. He's a fan of hers, but he found out that she was pregnant and he felt betrayed, so he ends up stabbing her. But when she has this whole monologue talking about how like she's sorry that, you know, she never could give him the love that he thought he deserved, he starts to go crazy, and then he leaves and he commits suicide somewhere else. So then she explains to her kids that like she's always loved them, and you know, this whole thing of like this person who thought they could not feel love can actually feel love happens only at an untimely death. Okay.
It's so fucking anime though. Like that's very anime.
So this is the thing, okay? I was like, where is this story going? So in like the middle of the movie, they talk about the father of the children. And nobody knew except the mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she was not going to tell anyone because she was like, well, I don't want anybody to know because I like lying a little bit. Okay. So after she dies, the son character is like, I know that guy. I know that stalker. Like that was the same stalker that killed me at the beginning of the movie. He's like, but how did he know that I was at the hospital? And how did he know where I lived? Not him, but like his mother.
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to convey that. He's like, how, yeah. He's like, how did you know where she lived? He's like, there's only a couple of people that know where she lived. And then he started to really think about it, and he's like, wait. The only people that knew where she was at the hospital and where she was at home could only be one person. It's not the manager, it's not the wife. It's the birth father. So he's like, I'm going to go after our birth father and I'm going to kill him. And then there's a whole time skip of him being like, I'm going to find our father and kill him. And I'm like, wait, what? And that is the premise of this entire fucking story. It was wild. It was wild. I was like, okay, we're having these cute little anime moments of like them dancing and like, you know, idol stuff. And it's like, no, the end of this is like, nobody knows our actual identities. Nobody knows that we're actually the children of this idol. And on top of that, I'm planning on killing our dad because he is the one that actually told that serial killer or that fanatic where our mom lived and wanted her dead. That's the only reasoning. Because there's a moment after the funeral of their mother where both the daughter and the son are like, we don't know what to do. We loved this woman besides being their mother. We loved her as an idol. And it's just like not having her there anymore. Like our life is essentially just nothing. So that's why he comes up with this whole other meaning of life of like, I'm going to hunt down the guy who possibly is responsible for our mother's death.
Right.
So it's just like, what? So it was just wild because like I said, I knew nothing of like this whole thing and where it was going to go. And I'm glad I went in cold and just like, it just goes bonkers. Yeah, by the way, the animation for this is fucking fantastic, like I said. Oshi no Ko. My Star, as it's called in English. Yeah. Really good. Like I said, I was not expecting the whole reincarnation thing to be an actual story element, but I guess it kind of makes sense to at least have the character like know certain things or like be savvy to certain things. But it's such a bizarre thing because it's like this 30-year-old guy being in the body of a child and understanding certain things. And he was a doctor before. So there was like a whole thing where when she got stabbed by the fan, he was trying to like see her wound and trying to see like if he could do anything to help her, but he's like, oh shit, he's like, there's not enough time, she's gonna bleed to death, and unfortunately he couldn't do anything. So yeah, there's that whole other perspective. Yeah, man, it's wild. I'm very excited to see where the anime goes. I'm thinking about actually reading the manga just to see how it is.
My God, this guy.
I might throw away. No, I'm gonna throw away fucking the Sin War trilogy just to read this.
No, fuck that.
I don't.
You do that, we don't talk no more.
Okay, I'll talk.
Can't talk to this guy anymore.
I talk.
All right, I'll see you in a year.
Yeah, I'll talk about anime. Yeah, wild, fucking wild. So spoiler over, I guess.
I don't know if it's real. I had seen something on Twitter about an anime where a girl turns into a bus or something.
I mean,
so
with anime, this could be true.
I had seen like somebody post it and be like, fuck this shit. Like, this is the final straw. Anime fucking sucks. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Okay, well, I didn't watch that, but I did watch this idol anime.
So that's what I thought you were going to tell me about. I was like, oh, here it comes. The one about a girl as a bus. It'd be great.
It's like, nope. Here's this one about this idol anime that turns out to be a revenge story out of nowhere.
Yeah, what a fucking weird shit, dude.
Fucking wild. I'm so excited, though. I'm very excited.
How excited, though?
Very, actually.
Oh, okay, like
Yeah,
very. Got
very. Um, yeah, I think that's basically it for what I've done these past couple of weeks. Just
Dude,
working and
I
then
think we just like talked for about 40 minutes about a fucking revenge story.
revenge anime.
God,
An unsuspected revenge anime. Yeah,
this
that's good
shit's
shit.
fucking hilarious though. I will not watch that. But if you have more details on it later, you let me know.
I will. Like I said, I'm very interested to actually read the manga because it's just like I really want to know where it goes because of how wild that premise is of just like
Yeah, yeah.
because that's the thing is that like it starts off very wholesome even with
Yeah.
like the whole reincarnation aspect of like there's also that sadness as well. Like there's a bit of melancholy where he talks about his
So like the
past life.
beginning didn't give you any like didn't allude to any idea that it might have some like revenge killing shit.
No, that's
No.
the thing that was wild.
Well, hold on. In the beginning, you find out the mother's murdered, right?
No, at the beginning you
How long does it take to find out the mom got killed?
like almost near the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So this whole thing was just like you thought it was like super okay.
Yeah, because like I see the animation, like I said, it goes up on Twitter and people talk about like, oh yeah, the animation is really good and the story is really good, but don't look into like any Wikipedia facts about like anything about the story. And I'm like, okay, and then like I said, you start at the beginning, you have this whole premise of like, oh, what's gonna happen? I was making up like different things in my head of like, where does this story go? Okay, does she die like at any point? And then he takes care of the kids, and then he has to keep the secret of you know of him giving birth to the idol's children or something else. And then it's like, no, the doctor dies, he gets reincarnated into the one of the children of the idol, lives a couple years, eventually sees her die, and then boom, comes to the conclusion the child's biological father is possibly the person responsible for their mother's death. Time for
See,
revenge.
the part where he got reincarnated as the child,
Yeah, I thought it was
I would have been like, oh, that's the anime.
yeah, because it's like every anime does that. It's fucking isekai shit.
It's just weird. Yeah, weird shit.
Yeah,
I don't know if isekai means weird, but it's weird.
no, because there is a point where it's like it gets kind of weird because it's like even though he knows all this stuff and he feels like a different person, he is the biological child of this idol. So there's a moment where like she tries to breastfeed him and he's like, no, 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 I'm gonna stick to the bottle because he thinks it's weird. Because it's like
It is weird.
it is
It's weird
weird,
for everyone watching.
but that's
Why?
but that's what I'm saying is that like there's a moment where he talks about his past life and there's that feeling of melancholy where it's just like I remember all this stuff of my past life, all the people I've lived with, I've all like my actual life is gone. And like I can never go back to that. So it's and you have his sister character basically telling him like, well, you have a new start on life. So try to make the most of it, and especially at the fact that you're a child of a famous person. But that's also the other thing is that nobody knows we exist besides the biological father, the manager uh of their mom, the manager's wife, and that serial killer fanatic guy. So yeah, there's like just like that weird kind of fucky head thing of like, you think about it of like there's always something that I've seen of like, would you go back and like to your past self with all the stuff that you learned in your head and relive life again? You ever seen that? Like that kind of question?
Say again.
It was like if you were able to go back in time, restart life with and retain all the knowledge that you have, would you do that?
So when you say restart life, it's like from being a
Go back from
zero
yes,
to now.
but you still retain the stuff that you know to now.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Or you're that.
Would you?
I don't know, because it's
Would
just
you?
like
Oh,
because
sorry, I asked you twice, and I thought you didn't hear me the first time.
no, it's just like I don't know, because like I don't want to live life again. It's like yeah, you
Yeah,
can make the choices different, but it's just like
I think the idea off of that would be um, you would do it better.
I guess, but
It would also extend your life. So, like,
eh,
is it worth more time?
eh,
I think there's a lot of positives I don't really want to get into because it's like probably more depressing than like
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
But like, there's a lot of positives to it that you could actually gain from it. There's also, I'm sure, a ton of negatives. It depends, right? Like, was there a bunch of bad things that happened to you that are probably going to happen the same way? Maybe.
yeah.
But like, with the knowledge you have now, there's a lot of things you could do to one, better yourself, better the
Yeah.
others around you, and just
Well,
do better stuff.
that's also the other thing is that like there is a big difference between what I just said and with what's going on in this story is that like their life still continues. Like after they're gone, like they're living a completely different life compared to like what I said, whereas like you go back in time. Um yeah, because like even the doctor has this moment where like he goes online and starts to look up his name and only sees that he only had a funeral, but they never found the guy who killed him. So that's just like living with that. It was just like the guy who killed you is still out there. And then, towards the end of the whole thing is the same guy that killed you, but now has killed your idol and your mother, technically.
Mhm.
Yeah, just wild. I was not expecting that whole twist. That twist is so fucking crazy. Yeah. Anime. Anime. Animu. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get back into anime at this point. I'm trying to get back into anime. There's also another thing because I've been watching like videos by Super Eye Patch Wolf, where he does like video essays on like certain stuff that he's been interested in. So there's like a lot of videos of him talking about like specific animes. He talked about one of the animes that I watched, Made in Abyss, where he goes off and talks about that, but I think only like the first season, and like I really like that video that he did. Then he talks about Hunter x Hunter. He did like a video essay about Mother 3, which is the Earthbound sequel. You know Earthbound, right? With Ness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he does like a whole video essay about the game that never released in America.
Okay.
Which was very interesting. I knew nothing about Mother 3, and like I'm surprised that game never came out to the States because that story is kind of gonzo. But the one video essay that I remember that he talked about that actually put me on to a manga that I just remembered until like now, because I rewatched that video essay, was this manga called Trail of Blood, which is also a fucking wild manga. Where I'm trying to catch back up with, because JoJo Part 9 kind of went on a bit of a hiatus, so gotta read something besides Dablo. I need something with pictures.
Oh my god, this guy said something with pictures.
Something with pictures, because also I'm really behind, not really behind, but I'm a little behind Chainsaw Man. And yeah, Trail of Blood, if you don't know anything about it, it's a very interesting, it's a very, very interesting manga that I think a story that's similar to it is the movie Psycho. You know the whole premise of Psycho, right? Alfred Hitchcock. Yes.
I know it's a guy that kills people.
Yeah. So do you want me to give you the premise of Trail of Blood? Okay, fine. I'll give you the premise since you asked for it, since you're demanding it.
I demand it.
Yeah. Basically, the premise of Trail of Blood is that this young boy Seichi, that lives in the Japans, obviously, has witnessed his mother attempt a murder. And basically the whole manga becomes this whole psychological thing of him trying to justify his mother's actions and then realizing that his mother actually might be crazy. So, and then it kind of just like goes from there, where it's just like he starts to lose it as well. But I didn't really get far into the manga, and apparently it's still ongoing, which is wild. So, Yeah, Trail of Blood.
Trail that blood, yo.
And yeah, that's basically it. That's it. That's all I did. Chunch did Chunch things.
Truly a full life has been lived this week.
Yep.
Or 2 weeks.
Truly.
Hi.
Okay. Do you want to get into news or do you want to take a break?
Break.
Break? All right. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I had a burp right there. Nope, had a
It's
burp.
okay. Are you sure you weren't birthing your doctor out of you?
I was not birthing my doctor out of me, and no, I am not an idol. I wish I was, though.
I wish you were ninja.
Ninja. Oh. Is Ninja still big? I'm good. I'm gonna assume no, because I think now the biggest Twitch streamer is like Kai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys. So
Sinat?
like,
Uh-huh.
is he big? Yes.
Yes.
But like the fall off, everyone called. Like, everyone knew it was gonna happen eventually. It's the same thing as anything, right? Eventually, you fall off, right? But it's one of those things that progresses quicker depending on like what you are. Kai is a all around streamer.
Yeah.
Where Ninja was specifically a battle royale streamer, right? Yeah. So I think people relate more to Kai because he does everything. So
yeah, and he has a shit ton of money, so he can do whatever. Yeah.
Well, he didn't at first.
He didn't at first, but that's what I'm saying is that like now he has a shit ton of money now. That
it's just the same thing as I Show Speed. Like once you start like being able to go places and do all the stuff that you want to.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think with humor is subjective, obviously, because
for sure.
Yeah, because the whole I Showed Speed stuff is just like that humor really doesn't do it for me. Being loud.
Oh no, I really don't like him, but you gotta give it to him for doing what he wants to do.
Yeah, I guess. True. No, the only thing I know about it is when that guy started roasting him. Did you ever see that?
When he like barked at him.
No, there was a guy that I think he was in a Discord call with, and the guy just roasts him by like making a rhyme. He's like, "I showed speed, hair looking like weed." Like just makes it. It's so goofy, but it's just like this dude had it fucking planned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Humor is subjective. I don't know. Good luck to Kai. I hope he isn't Creator Clash 3.
I don't know what that means.
Creator Clash?
Yeah.
That's the boxing thing that's happening right now as we're talking over in.
Oh yeah, Elena Pierce.
Yeah.
It's the only person I cared about.
I think Alana Pierce, Aaron Hansen, iDubbbz.
iDubbbz?
Yeah, iDubbbz is the one that made this thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Hilariously, did you hear about this? The whole thing? Well, no, you don't know anything about Creator Clash. So what the fuck am I talking about? So originally one of the fighters was supposed to be Froggy Fresh.
Okay. The rapper guy?
Yes.
Fucking love that guy.
So Froggy Fresh was supposed to be boxing at this, but they kicked him out. The reason why they kicked him out was because he made a reference to iDubbbz's girlfriend's OnlyFans as a joke. And it became this whole heinous thing where they were like, it's uncalled for, this and that. So they eventually just replaced him with somebody else.
Uncalled for. I mean, don't have an OnlyFans and then it won't be called.
No. It's very rude. Don't talk about my OnlyFans. Only come to my OnlyFans.
Only guys that jerk off to my OnlyFans talk about
come to my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, we live in an era where OnlyFans is
truly live in a society. I'm gonna
oh my god.
I'm gonna go watch Brofist Man now. See you guys later.
Okay.
Pootie pie.
I don't know. It's weird. I was like, that's really dumb, but oh well. I mean, I don't care about these people. I don't really know them. I don't really have a parasocial relationship with them either, so it's just like
Bro, you
whatever.
look up Froggy Fresh, and he literally comes up as an American singer. Why?
Froggy Fresh. Um yeah, Creator Clash is happening now. I think Alana Pierce won hers, and I think Aaron Hansen also won his. So
Hold on, he might Froggy Fresh facing potential lawsuit after speaking out against Creator Clash 2.
yes, so there was that too. Where I forget there was something about that, why that thing is happening. All because he made a joke about OnlyFans. Well, iDubbbz' his wife currently. That's what I'm saying, man. Is like all this whole shit with like creators is just that's why I'm not a create man. I'm not a creator talking on my podcast. Anyways, let's talk about video games. You ready about video games?
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading this shit.
It's okay. Froggy
Yeah,
Fresh.
we
Okay.
good.
All right. So speaking about video games, what do you want to talk about first? I'll let you choose.
So Froggy Fresh, no. I have nothing open. Give me a second here.
Okay, I'm fine.
You know who I am. You know
I know how you be.
Jesus Christ. We are starting at Zelda. Is that the first one there? Or
There's Redfall right above it.
above it?
Yeah, I don't think the image popped up.
It doesn't have an image.
Yeah.
Let's start at Redfall.
Okay. Want to talk about it?
I'm opening it right now. Give me a hot second. Yeah, so I've literally seen this everywhere. Redfall at launch isn't going to run at 60 FPS. It's going to be at 30. And I don't know exactly when they said it was going to hit 60. I think they said next year, right?
They haven't really. Yeah, at a later date is what they gave.
Okay, so no like clear, concise like date.
Yeah.
On it, but they said they will come out later. I mean, there's been a lot of talk around this game in general. Following what was the game before this? I can't remember.
Like
there's one. Wasn't it Forspoken? Like people were shitting on Forspoken, and then those people apparently had started latching onto this and shitting on this for some reason.
Well, Forspoken had a bunch of controversies. That's the difference. But the controversies okay. Let me try to remember the Forspoken stuff. The Forspoken controversy stuff was mostly due to the writing. But the other controversy was there's fucking now that I think about it, there's like fucking 3. Okay. There's a writing for the story. Where people were talking about all the quotes and all the dialogue that's going on in that specific game. There was also the controversy about the requirements when it came to PC stuff for the game, and that ending up being like unreasonable because it was just like really high requirements on PC that were not particularly good. And then the third thing was the game essentially killing Luminous Productions.
Okay.
So there's 3. But the reason people were shitting on this is obviously because of the whole 30 frames per second for a game that's coming out in like what, this month or May?
I thought it was May.
I think it's May. I think you might be right.
Oh, if my computer will load.
Yeah, May 2nd. All right.
Thank you.
But the reason why people are talking about this is because why would a game that Xbox/Bethesda has been working on for as long as they have been is just releasing on a 30 FPS mode, and why is 60 being added later on? It's going to be 30 FPS solely on quality mode. That's the thing. Yeah,
I would have to assume that they either ran into an issue with something related to the frames, or maybe something they had to do related to because they had to drop the PlayStation. I just don't think that would be a problem.
I don't think that would be a problem either.
So I think more likely they ran into something, an issue or a bug that they can't fix in time, and they'd rather just release. So maybe it's like easier to cap it and then work on the issue later with an update.
I guess, but like updating it for 60 FPS, even though it is there, like you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you can cap it and keep the problem at bay, then what's the problem?
But I think that's the real question. What's the problem?
Right. Maybe they don't want to like come out and do that, right? Maybe they
Yeah.
don't want to like be like, we fucked up. Maybe this is easier for them, or they think it's better, right?
Yeah, but you know, we're living in a
Because
time where
if there's a problem, like that might make them like if they told you what the problem is, it might make them feel like they have to hold back on it. And I don't know, maybe
I
Microsoft owns them at this point, right?
yeah, I don't remember. Was this game ever announced for a delay at any point? I think it was. I think it was supposed to come out like last year in October.
I want to say every game does that though.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
everything's been delayed.
fuck, dude, we're gonna have a game that we're gonna be talking about relatively
Yeah.
soon. Uh, but it's like, why not delay it then? If you need a couple more months, why not just delay it?
Again, like who knows? Could be like someone breathing down their neck to get shit done. Maybe
Could
in
be
general,
Xbox, yeah.
maybe they just want to start making money. They're like, fuck it, we've been acquiring all this shit. I'm tired of it. I want money now.
Yeah, it could be that point. But still, that doesn't look great on their end. Where it's just like, all right, here's 30 FPS on quality mode. That's the only thing you get. While on the other hand, I think PC that does not apply to, obviously, because it's PC. But it's just weird. It's just really weird to me that essentially
I mean,
it's being put behind a wall that can only be later unlocked by a patch.
if there is any other issue that is related to it and they don't fix it, we'll find out, right?
Yeah,
So
I guess somebody might talk about it being like, yeah, I guess we ran into an issue on Xbox consoles that we have to release this game now, but only at 30. Yeah, I think that's a weird one to happen, but we'll see about that.
So it's also like remember, so if this game was delayed before, oh, what the fuck, Cyberpunk, man. Remember Cyberpunk was delayed for so long, and then we got a shit product. Maybe they're just thinking the same thing like that, right? Like, well, we can put a quality product out at 30 and then patch the 60 later, you know? I know it doesn't sound like something you're interested in, but like
not even that. It's just like it just sounds weird when you really put it
yeah,
into that perspective. It's just like then
for sure.
delay it. If you're so confident in your product, and it's like, yes, you can be very confident in your product that you just release it at 30 FPS, but it's like if you're very confident in your work productivity, then you can still be like, all right, we're gonna delay it. It's gonna take us like maybe like a couple weeks or so. Then we have it at full 60. But I don't think they're gonna delay it at this point now because we're
God,
almost
it would only take a couple weeks because if it's
month,
that much
month
of
or
a
two.
problem to not delay it, if it was a couple weeks, I feel like they would have.
Yeah, but I mean, we only got a couple, like what, 2 more weeks before this thing comes out because it's supposed to come out the 2nd of May. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get a full story on as to why it's being put in at this quality mode, but
Yeah, I mean, we might like later down the road, somebody might be like, "Yeah, this is what happened," and blah blah.
yeah.
The only other thing I could think of would be if this game has something else to compete with. Maybe they don't really have a good time frame except for now.
So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at what other games are coming out in May of this year. What I got is the biggest thing is Tears of the Kingdom.
What comes out the month after though?
The month after, that I would have to say is really prolific. Well, there's 2 things that are prolific. 3 things that are prolific. Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16.
I mean, if you don't want to compete, you know, and they might have to the rest of the months of the year. They might all be competing at each month. This might be like their good time window.
I don't know.
Again, I have no idea. That's just I'm guessing.
Because let me look at October. Not really anything for October, but
Spider-Man, no.
Spider-Man 2, Wolverine.
Spider-Man 2, Wolverine's Revenge. What?
Oh man, that would be so cool. But no, that's the thing, is that like their biggest competition is Legend of Zelda. But even though they're coming out
No,
at
or the Diablo 4 definitely their biggest contest. Right
uh, this game's coming out May 2nd, while Tears of the Kingdom is gonna be coming out May 12th. But still, like that whole window is just like I'm saying, it's very bizarre. You know,
I don't think really. I don't think Zelda is too much of a competition for people, because the people that are going to buy Zelda already know they're going to buy Zelda. Nintendo's like fan base is pretty already like
established.
set.
Yeah,
There's for sure some people are going to be swayed just by videos and stuff.
I mean, yeah,
But,
I mean, a lot of
but I
people
think like
have been swayed.
when it comes to like this is a shooter. So
Yeah.
I mean like they got to be like wary of like what they're gonna be going up against again, because shooters are very like again kind of like with Zelda, you already know you're going to do it. It's like Call of Duty. I know I'm going to be playing Call of Duty. It's the shooter. That's what I'm going to go for. So like I think this is like team based or something. So um, again, I don't know what else you would go for, other than if you're trying to fight against other team based stuff, which Diablo would be a team based thing that you're trying to. But that's kind of maybe two different fan bases: shooter versus
Yeah,
looter.
but that's that we're talking
Sometimes
about the month of June, not May.
No, I'm not talking about May. I'm talking about in general, like what months that they would drop it afterwards, right?
But we're talking about the May period of that's what I'm trying to say, is that we're talking about May. Regardless, we're talking about May, because that's their hitting point. It's like, okay, I'm trying to remember when does the quarter end for spring, or I think the quarter has started for spring. I think it. No, fuck. Can't really find it. Anyways, but okay. You know what? Diablo. Diablo. No. So I think overall that's why everybody at this point has just kind of like been shitting on this game. Is just, why tell us this? Why not be like, delay happening?
No, yeah, I still think it's just one of those three things that they're dealing with.
I think the other shitting thing was that IGN thing. Do you remember when IGN put out like a gameplay video, and people were like shitting on that because of how poorly the person who was playing it was doing? There was that shitting that was happening.
Nah, I don't remember that.
Okay, well, that was happening, but still, good luck. The other thing is that why people are talking about this is because of the fact that like people are suspecting that Starfield is going to have this issue as well at launch, where it's going to have like a quality setting and then patch in 60 FPS afterwards.
Huh? You think it might be something to do with the Xbox?
I don't think so.
I would watch and see if there's a firmware update for the Xbox that does something with their settings, because that would be interesting if it's like there's something like that they fucked up, maybe through patching or something. Because if that's two games that they have issues, well, because I mean, there's a bunch of other games, but those would probably be the two. Starfield should for sure be one of the highest quality games that they have to deal with.
Yeah, obviously, because it's supposed to be the next big thing by Bethesda.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see when the game actually launches, but I don't know. That's the real question. We'll never know until that. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Yeah, I guess the other thing, speaking about games releasing, The Legend of Zelda shows their other official trailer.
That shit looks cool.
This shit looks like Zelda.
It does.
It does. I had to watch a little bit of the other trailer about what they were talking about the fusion stuff, where you take like other items in the world and you basically fuse it into a weapon.
Oh yeah, like crafting.
Yeah, basically it's Zelda crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looks neat. I'll probably get Zelda eventually. I don't think immediately, but eventually. I don't know. I feel
Have
like
you
I'm,
played the first one?
huh?
Do you play the first one?
What, Breath of the Wild?
Mhm.
Bro, I streamed it.
I don't fucking remember, dude. It's
I
been
know you
so
don't.
long.
I know you don't. I streamed it.
Uh,
I played it. I played the main story originally on Wii U, and then I got
what's
it for Switch, and then I never played it on Switch. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll stream it on Switch. Oh yeah, I also got that season pass, so I played the season pass after I finished the main story.
Hold on, they put Breath of the Wild on Wii U?
Yeah, I have it. I have the physical version.
They put Breath of the Wild on Wii U?
Mm-hmm. I have it,
What?
baby. Yep. Breath of the Wild, Wii U.
Fucking Googling it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does it work on Wii?
No, just Wii U.
That sounds really dumb, I know, but like,
No, just
they're
Wii
the
U.
same disc, I thought, right?
No. Mm-mm. We can't read Wii U games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Huh.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I had a Wii U at the time, and when yeah, I obviously the launch of the Switch was when Breath of the Wild came out, so I wasn't buying a new console at the time. I was like, oh, I'll get it on Wii U. So I had the fucking big ass dumb gamepad to play the game with. But the neat part was obviously you had the map on the gamepad, so that was basically it.
yeah. I definitely remember you playing Wolf Link.
Oh, Twilight Princess, yeah,
Yeah.
on the Wii U.
Was it also on the Wii U?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
HD version of that game. That's the only reason why I keep my Wii U is because there's a good amount of good games on the Wii U. But funny enough, a lot of them have been ported to the Switch. So at this point,
Yeah.
the only things that haven't been ported are like majority of the Zelda games because there's Wind Waker as well.
I love Wind Waker so much.
Wind Waker's pretty good. Wind Waker is pretty good. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom looks good, coming out May 12th.
Get hype.
Get hyped for the
It will be
Zeldas.
60 FPS, you're welcome.
Get hyped for, oh god, I really want to know how this fucking game's gonna run on Switch. It's gonna fucking overheat that thing. But get hyped for hydrated Ganon, because he's looking beefy.
Yeah.
He looks beefy, looking like a beefy boy.
The Ganondorf.
Ganon dwarf. Yeah, looking beef. Speaking of beef, yo, what is Sega's beef with Jet Set Radio? You like Jet Set Radio, right? Yeah, you do.
I have watched you play Jet Set Radio.
It's jank as fuck. That music's good, but it's okay. It's pretty fun.
It looks fun as shit.
Jet Set Radio, it's fun.
I probably wouldn't play it, but for sure love watching it.
I mean, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That's the thing that is going to be easily accessible, you know, whenever that comes out. But the beef with Sega and Jet Set Radio and Persona 3, well, not really a beef anymore. There has been some footage for, what was it, an investor's video of some sort? Yeah, basically a clip of a Persona 3 character, Yukari, firing some magical arrows in much better detail than what Persona 3 is usually in, and some footage of new models for Jet Set Radio. And if you see this article, there's also this tweet from Sega Bits where they talk about like a whole thing about a survey that Sega was doing about different styles for Jet Set Radio. And then there's also a bit of a clip that they have showing the character Beat dancing. And
Not Beat.
Beat in the Beat dancing, and it looks wild. But yeah, basically the rumors are a remake of Persona 3 and Jet Set Radio are in the works, which have been rumors for years, but the clip kind of like, I wouldn't say cements it, it just kind of brings a little bit more hope to that. And then we also had that thing about the call about the crazy taxi and Jet Set Radio thing that was that like big mega game thing that Sega was trying to push out. Nobody knew if that was going to be like an NFT thing, but who knows? Oh, the Super Games, that's what they called it. But Persona 3 apparently was a thing that Atlas was planning on doing for like a good while before they got acquired by Sega. So,
and soon by Xbox.
Consumed for Xbox. Funny enough, something that I saw recently was Sega is actually planning on buying the Angry Birds license. So hopefully Angry Birds cross Jet Set Radio cross Persona.
Doesn't that feel weird?
Feels
like,
very weird.
Do you think that game still, or that company is profitable as fuck, or
are they still making Angry Birds?
Because I'm pretty sure they said something like $1 billion.
I mean, at this point, Angry Birds marketing is still existent, I want to say. But I don't know. I really don't know. I
feel like I haven't seen shit. Unless there's a different game they're pushing now. I don't think I've seen Angry Birds stuff recently.
Yeah, I really haven't seen anything for Angry Birds as well. I haven't really.
The last thing I really heard about was like when they wanted to do the movie.
I mean, the movie came out. I think, did a sequel come out for that?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's still existent, but still, I don't know. I don't know if Sega can really make Angry Birds shine again.
Sega's done a lot of questionable moves in their fucking history of a game company, so
that is true.
This just feels another very question.
I mean, I don't know. I think at this point the only highlights Sega has done at this or like now is just like more Yakuza stuff and I guess Sonic, and that's really it.
Well, I guess it kind of makes sense if they're trying to focus on some mobile stuff. Because honestly, man, a good Sonic mobile game wouldn't be too bad.
Didn't they try to do that?
I have no idea. I'm sure they have, but phone-wise, I have no idea.
I mean, they are planning on doing that mobile game done by Yoko Taro, the creator of Nier. They're planning on doing a it's not a tower defense. It's like a shooter. I want to say like a shoot 'em up. But essentially, it's like set in a futuristic, capitalist, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a neo-future weird shit that's going on. Oh, like there's a super company that owns everything, and essentially it's supposed to be like Sega and Sega arcade machines personified are like fighting against this super corporation. It's so bizarre, it's so weird, but essentially they made like anime waifus of like of Virtua Fighter, the game Outrun, I'm trying to think of the other one, Virtua Cop is the other one. It's just really bizarre shit, but it's all done by Yoko Taro. Like the story is being made by Yoko Taro. It's really weird, but it's a mobile thing that's happening in Japan. But yeah, I could imagine that they're trying to expand a little bit more with their mobile stuff, that they would turn to Angry Birds to be like, okay, what's a popular thing that is... That's the thing, is that like, is it still popular now?
Like what? Angry Birds?
Yeah. Like, are still...
I don't think so.
Yeah, like, are people still downloading Angry Birds?
I'm sure there's a good amount. I, again, don't know. Don't know if it's worth it. If they put money into it, I'm sure they see something.
Yeah.
But there's tons of times people see something in something and it still fails.
Yeah, that's true. But seeing something in something that always fails, Denuvo. What do you know about Denuvo?
Nothing?
The DRM tech.
Oh, yeah, this I have no idea about.
Okay.
I don't, yeah.
So, I guess to catch you up on certain things. So, Denuvo is a anti-cheat coding that's been put in a lot of games. I think the biggest one that people were talking about was Doom Eternal, and the other biggest thing was Resident Evil Village, where people were like, why did you put an anti-cheat thing in a single-player game? Still unknown to this day. But the Doom shit was so controversial that I think before the release of Doom Eternal, they actually took it out. And then when Capcom was like, oh yeah, Resident Evil 8 is going to have Denuvo in it, people were like, oh shit, we're back to square one with this fucking nonsense. So there's been a lot of tests with Denuvo, whether or not Denuvo actually has an impact on performance for video games. Okay. And the result is yes, it does. Because Denuvo runs something in the background of a lot of computers that affects performances for a lot of games. And this was shown to be true when a hacker actually came out, removed Denuvo from the game, and did a side-by-side comparison of the game with Denuvo and without Denuvo. And the version without Denuvo was the one that ran perfectly fine. The only thing was that because he took out the cheat, essentially he could not attack I believe the enemies, or a swarm of like flies in Dimitrescu's castle were like going at him constantly. But that was the whole thing, was that Denuvo was the thing that was affecting the performance of Resident Evil 8. So that's also the other thing. I bought Resident Evil 8 on launch on PC. And that was the biggest thing that I was seeing, was that there was a lot of performance issues with that game. I think at the time I didn't really have big PC specs. I was still in the process of getting like better parts, but you can kind of see that the game was being impacted by something. And yeah, the end result was that it was Denuvo. So the news with this is that Capcom has completely removed it. So no more Denuvo in the game. The real question is, will any other game put in Denuvo? I think that's the real question. Denuvo is a wild thing because of the fact it's supposed to be this anti-piracy, anti-cheat thing, and it just ends up fucking things up. And I think Denuvo even came out with a statement during the whole thing of Doom Eternal, where they were like, no, we don't impact performance and stuff like that. And everybody was like, no, that's a fucking lie. Stop lying. Because I forget what other game they were in, and then a lot of people were like, yeah, this shit is a problem.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it, if it's going to be running things in the background that are either unnecessary or taking up too much
RAM,
anything to, fuck the performance, then you would want to take it out, especially if it's single player. What the fuck? Who fucking cares if they cheat? Fuck them.
Yeah. I think it was mostly like a piracy kind of thing.
Yeah, now that type of shit I can understand, but there's probably better things or easier things to implement that won't run.
Yeah, I don't know. Denuvo, from what my understanding is that like it's never been good to begin with. So
yeah,
to see Resident Evil 8 actually take it out is kind of a wild thing. Speaking of Resident Evil 8, I actually bought it on PS5 because I feel like at a point I will buy a VR headset and I will stream myself actually playing that game again through VR.
Did you have a rough time on 7, or was it not you? It was just chat something?
No, it was me. Okay. I literally towards the end of the game I started feeling motion sickness to the extent where I was just like, I'm just gonna beat the game without my headset on.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think the weird dissonance was me having the controller and me looking around. But I think I did mess up because I ended up... So when you're in VR for 7, there's an option to have the turning radius with your controller to do like stop by stop by stop by stop.
Ugh.
But that's the thing, I turned that off. So it was more of a smooth turning and stuff like that. But I think that ended up making me feel a little bit more motion sickness. So, but that's the thing, I don't really play VR as much, but with Resident Evil 8 getting that VR update, I kind of want to play Resident Evil 8.
Hell yeah.
But I am going to wait for a price reduction on the PSVR 2, because I am not paying the exact same price for PSVR what I paid for a PS5, because there's not that many games out besides obviously Resident Evil 8. And I guess the Horizon game as well. I think they're also planning on doing RE4 on it, the one that came out on like the Oculus. It's supposed to be like the VR version of 4, but the old version of 4. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'll probably wait for a price reduction for the PSVR 2. So, talking about games that we played before. God of War. Ragnarok.
What's going on with that rag, bro?
The Ragnarok got New Game Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And New Game Plus seems crazy.
Are you stoked?
I'm a little stoked. I'm not gonna front. I'm a little stoked. So, with New Game Plus, it comes with harder bosses, new armor, increased level cap, negative perks, and an expanded sparring arena. I was
That's actually a lot. That's a lot for
I
like
was
an update.
I was reading it, and like the interesting shit is the negative perks. That is the wild shit. But it's just to make the game harder for yourself to add a challenge. It's just content mode, because like one of the things I'm reading is like a debuff for Kratos, or like a frost status effect whenever you roll, making you slower. And then you can have Spartan armor, which is essentially an armor set that does not give you any perks whatsoever.
So I like this like idea of the debuffs because or negative perks. Because you would have a lot of people that like would make up their own rules. Like, oh, this is the type of run I'm gonna do, like a Nuzlocke or something, right?
Basically, yeah.
So like this gives people something else to play with instead of forcing them to make up their own like negative things they can or can't do.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's an interesting thing. You don't see a lot of companies do shit like this.
Mhm.
Especially like on a New Game Plus. New Game Plus tends to be what, like just run it again. The bosses are harder. Period. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out.
Yeah, the new armor sets are pretty interesting as well, where it's like, whereas like the Ares armor set and the Zeus stuff like gives you a bunch of like boosts, but
Dude.
yeah, then you have the fucking Spartan armor where it's just like, fuck it, go nuts, try not to get killed super hard.
So cool the Ares armor sets there, by the way.
Yeah, it's really really cool. I'm trying to see the harder bosses. Yeah, some bosses are gonna have different moves compared to what you've seen before. There's also different difficulties. There's the Give Me No Mercy mode and Give Me God of War, which will give bosses runic armor. And in Give Me No Mercy, enemies will randomly transform into elites, which is the wild shit. It's like they really thought about this. I was like, okay, let's make this shit harder for you. Which is really neat. And the other thing is, let's see, the expanded sparring arena where you go off, fight waves of enemies. But you can choose who you want to fight as. You can either fight as Kratos or Atreus, and then you can choose your companions, which can be Freya, Brock, Sindri, Angrboda, Ingrid, Thor, or Thrud. So neat, really neat shit. The other thing that they didn't mention was you get Dropnir. You have the spear at the beginning of the game. The only thing you can't do is certain traversal stuff, so like to get secrets and stuff like that, until you like get to the point of where you actually get the spear.
Sure.
So yeah, neat. I will be playing God of War Ragnarok next year. But speaking of next year, or nothing of next year, Google Stadia. So just to TLDR this, Phil Harrison, the person that spearheaded this of the Google Stadias, has left Google.
No,
he is no longer there.
No way.
Because there's no more gaming division, so fuck it. There's also another thing where I was just reading this and it's just like talking about the CEO of Google being like, I'm not a gamer. It's like, oh. But being really enthusiastic about like gaming, about the cloud gaming shit. But yeah, Phil Harrison is gone. I completely forgot that Phil Harrison was also part of the launch of the PS3 and also the Kinect and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those
Connectables.
Oh my god, Connectables. Jesus Christ. Core memory shit happening. But yeah, this guy he has a career, he has a prolific career, but I don't know if you would call it a well-regarded career. That's the real question. So good luck to
Yeah.
you, Phil Harrison. Uh, speaking of shit that is gone, you want to take this one?
Uh, yeah, multiverse, baby.
What do you know about that multiverses?
Multiverse has been pulled from digital stores. As it re-ready? Or wait, sorry. As it's ready for a relaunch in 2024 or a full launch, I guess. Right.
Basically, yeah. I think
The
right
game will
now,
go fully offline in June and return next year in 2024.
yep. So you got only a couple more weeks to play this game.
Uh,
But yeah, you got a month, 2 months actually.
I think it's 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
July 2022. Or no, sorry, July 2022 was when it was launched. I'm fucking stupid. June 25th is when it'll be switched off.
Yeah, I completely forgot that this game was technically a beta.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird. Whatever.
it is very
It's
weird.
coming back though, so who cares?
Is Fortnite still technically a beta?
The word beta's not on there anymore.
It's
So I don't know.
not, but
I mean, so technically, I guess.
weird. But yeah, good luck to those who like this game. I never really got into it super hard. I got interested because I saw Gremlins in it, and that was basically it.
My friend plays it, bro, and I can't believe like he's into it too. Like he likes it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, season 3 was supposed to start last month for this game, but they extended the season pass to it when fucking they decided to close the beta. Yeah, well, like I said, good luck to those. The other thing that's part of this article is that like they're not giving any refunds, so yeah, just be careful of the purchases that you make.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, we saw that one.
Yeah.
Kind of insane.
Yeah. But speaking of insane, Activision Blizzard sued by the U.S. Justice Department.
Now that's insane.
That's insane. But there's been an update that the settlement has been reached. So there's that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, is it at the bottom?
It's part of the update, like literally right under the title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is a hilarious thing. So a lot of like speculation has like if Activision has been in like any kind of Activision Blizzard has been in any kind of like controversy, there's always a new character in Overwatch to make up for the controversy. So literally when this shit happened was the announcement of a brand new Overwatch character. And if you go back and look at the other controversies that they had, literally almost like the same day or like maybe the same week, a new character for Overwatch comes out or something that they try to like make up for.
Yeah, they probably have characters just lined up. They're like, all right, this one's for the next controversy.
So this was the thing I was listening to in another podcast. All right, I was listening to this in a video game podcast where they found out that basically Activision Blizzard has like a chart of specific minorities and ethnicities that can be used for Overwatch characters, and like very bizarre, very concise things of like, let's take a Afro-Latino, pansexual, transgender fighter and put it in Overwatch because we have this whole grid listing thing that we have going on. And it was just this weird thing, and it's an actual TED Talk, or not a TED Talk, but I think it was like at one of like the conference, the developers conference that they have in Germany, and they laid it out like this is an actual thing that they plan, they have. I don't know whether or not they still use it to this day, but it is a thing that exists. So. But yeah, the new character for Overwatch is a pansexual, plant-based Thailand hero.
Yeah, I mean their characters usually tend to be pretty good. It'll be interesting though. Like,
Yeah,
to see if this like trend keeps up.
All I know is
Because I'm
that
sure they'll have a lot more controversies. Don't you worry.
there's more content for the Overwatch porn. So
That's fucking true.
yeah,
You're not wrong.
that's why they had to say their sexuality and their preferences.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. Be like, yo, we got more Overwatch porn to make. Go make
She only likes women, and then everyone's gonna draw her with a man.
Yep, and then be like,
internet.
because internet. What about the hamster? What about that hamster Hamilton? What is that his name? Hamilton?
Fuck, is it?
I think it might be.
What? It.
What about Winston? Is there a thing between them? The hamster and Winston? There probably is. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Why are you this person?
Sorry. Widowmaker. All right, we're just gonna stop.
I wouldn't know anything about Widowmaker. I'm a man of the Lord.
I haven't watched Tracer get railed.
Okay. Anyways, EA. Speak.
No, but I guess just for this this article, the thing that was wild to me was basically Activision Blizzard putting up this whole this fucking thing saying that like they penalized teams if a player's compensation exceeded a threshold that they decided on. And it's like, what? So basically if one person makes more money than the rest, it affects the team? It was just like reading this thing of like,
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole wage thing. It's like, it's very weird.
yeah, it's like it obviously that's why it got brought to the Supreme Court. Or sorry, not the Supreme Court, the U.S. Justice Department because of the whole antitrust thing. But it's like, that's wild, man. Like I'm the more I read or like the more you hear about shit from Activision Blizzard, it's like, man, Bobby Kotick has just made shit impossible for fucking Xbox, for fucking Microsoft. Because the amount of decisions that he made is just like wild. Because this is not going to be the end of it. Besides the whole sexual harassment thing, there's going to be probably more shit of like antitrust nonsense. They're probably going to find out about later on. So yeah, that is the one big thing. But yeah, the update is that they reached a settlement with somebody over Activision Blizzard. And then basically the spokesperson for Activision Blizzard came out with a statement saying that what they were doing was, I guess, for the benefit of the players, but obviously it was not. But yeah, this was a rule put in for both the Overwatch competitive teams and the Call of Duty teams. So, competitive balance tax. Yeah, that's what they called it, the competitive balance tax. Oh my god, that just it's so weird. All right. So we're going to get away from this. Anyways, want to hear some cool ass shit?
Yo, hit me with it.
All right. So you know how Street Fighter 6 is going back to hip hop, right?
Oh fuck yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So guess who their guest spokesperson is for the 20th of April?
Snoop Dogg.
Nope. Guess
Billie
again.
Eilish.
That's kind of almost hip hop, not really, but try again.
Eminem.
No, but
Guns N' Roses.
yep, you got it. Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose.
Nice.
Yep. No, man, we talking about the truest hip hop legend, Lil Wayne.
Yeah. To be fair, like,
Young Tooch is gonna be there.
pretty good pick, man.
I was not expecting Lil Wayne.
No, I would never expect almost. Same thing with Snoop. I mean, I guess Snoop is more prevalent in these types of things, like just everything kind of. But like, Lil Wayne, like, God, maybe I seen him in like a Call of Duty commercial one time, but like for a brief second.
I mean, Snoop Dogg was part of the promotion for Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Was he?
Yes, he also has a song in the game.
I think he had a voiceover in one of the Call of Duties too.
It wasn't his full model in Vanguard.
Oh yeah, it was. Holy
Mhm.
shit, yeah.
Yeah. So, but hopefully we'll get Lil Wayne in to Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter.
I hope Lil Wayne comes in and he's like, I want to get rid of the Satsui no Hado.
That'd be really cool if he did get a skin for like, I don't know if he has a favorite character, but that'd be cool.
That would be kind of cool. He's like, I want to be
The very best?
the very best.
Like no one ever was?
Try
Catch
to
them
think
is
of
my real test?
try to think of a Street Fighter character. Necro. Yeah. Lil Wayne wants to be Necro. Anyways, so yeah,
I don't know what the fuck that is.
it's okay.
I have no
Only
idea.
that's only for me and me only. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is gonna have a showcase on the 20th, at 3 p.m. Nope, sorry, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. So that's for the Eastern Standard peeps. Fuck every other time area. Anyways, speaking of time, tell me, Howler, who is one of the top 100 most influential people on the Times list?
Oh god, I don't have it in front of me. It's the
It's
Final Fantasy creator?
no, you fool.
Zelda creator.
No, you fool.
Pokemon creator?
No.
What is this guy? What did this guy do?
Oh my god.
Oh, Elden Ring. It
There
says
you
next
go.
to it. I'm fucking dumb. So wait, is he Dark Souls too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't say that name, and I'm not going to.
Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Man, you're good at Japanese, bro. Or
Oh my
whatever.
god. I'm not gonna say his name.
I can't pronounce it.
He
Uh-huh.
de ta ka
Uh-huh.
mi ya za
Right.
ki.
Bibbidi boppity boo.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. But yeah, Miyazaki has been given the illustrious award of being one of the most influential peoples of all time. Not beating, but like being a part with Michael B. Jordan, Pedro Pascal, Doja
Hey.
Cat, Mr.
The cat?
Beast, Mr. Beast. Okay. Neil Gaiman, Kei Hui Kwan. Yeah. And
You sound,
what? Kei Hui
you sound like
Kwan?
you're like at the Oscars, like listing off the possible nominees.
Nope, these are the people that got nominated or
Yeah.
got part of that whole time thing. But yeah, good for Miyazaki, honestly. The dude created a fucking genre in video games.
For sure, he should be celebrated.
Yeah, and funny enough, he is the second game developer to make it on the list. The first person being Shigeru Miyamoto. Mm-hmm.
Now he did Pokemon.
Yep, you got it.
What was I right?
No.
Oh, he did Zelda.
Yes.
Am I right?
And Mario.
Yeah, that like I said.
Yep. But congratulations to Miyazaki. Like I said, he's created some of the, I wouldn't say the greatest games of all time, but the most influential games. Because once like Dark Souls really hit well, was when you just started to see a bunch of Dark Souls clones, and then to an extent, it's still going on to this day, where you're seeing a bunch of Souls clones. Yeah, I mean, Elden Ring is one of the best-selling games, one of the best-selling Souls games of all time. So, yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. So, Sorry, I'm just reading like the comments. I don't want to read these comments because there's like contrarians being like, "Well, actually, Elden Ring isn't anything special because it's an open world." Shut the fuck up. Shut the
It's not
fuck
even
up.
cool. It's just hard. God.
I don't know. This is
Coming from a man that never beat it.
I beat it
No, me.
5 times.
Oh yeah.
I did beat it 5 times.
I have it sitting next to me right now, looking at it, thinking, I don't even want to play it.
Bro, you should hop in a Discord call and be like, "What do I do for this boss?" And I'd be like, "Get better, get good." And you'd be like,
Wow.
"Oh,
Nope, deleting it, throwing it in the trash. Won't even return it or sell it.
yeah, do that. Waste that money."
Speaking of wasting money.
Speaking of wasting money, EA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, EA is gonna be wasting some money hoping you buy their game that you won't. They made a first person magic shooter, or are making it.
So did everybody forget about Lichdom Battle Mage?
What?
So reading this article. So this game, Immortals of Avium, I think it's called, is being spearheaded by one of the original developers on Dead Space. He's also worked on not the best Call of Duty games, being Modern Warfare 3, which is debatable, but the other games being Advanced Warfare and World War II. Do what you will with that. But in the article, he talks about how like nobody's ever done a magic shooter. It's so weird. And then I'm thinking about this. I'm like, Lichdom Battle Mage. Have you ever seen gameplay of this? It kind of it's a first person game, but it's not really like an arcade shooter. It is kind of a shooter in a way.
Okay.
Battle Mage. I remember seeing somebody play this at like in a cafeteria at like community college, and like
there's also a Magic Battle Royale game.
Yes, what was that thing called?
I don't know.
It died though. I'm pretty
It
sure.
was bad.
Yeah. Something, I want to say spells or something, or like a fairy kind of, I don't remember. But yeah, basically he was like, why didn't nobody ever make a magic shooter game? Because shooter is so cool. Call of Duty. Shut up. You made the bad Call of Duties. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking about that.
The Spellbreak servers have been shut down.
Spellbreak, that's what it was called.
Dude, what?
Yeah,
man, if like a AAA like company got to touch that game, it probably would have been great.
Spellbreak?
I don't think a AAA made it, right?
I don't know, to be honest. Let's see, look up on the Wikipedia. I'm looking at this gameplay for Immortals. Which, by the way, come on, come with a better name. Fucking getting too many Immortal games. Because there's also Immortals Phoenix Rising. And Immortals...
I mean, that's old.
Immortals Phoenix Champions. No, that's not a real thing, but you know what I'm talking about. Too many Immortals. I mean, the gameplay looks interesting, because obviously it's magic being shot out of a dude's hand, but... I don't know. I'm not so hyped for it. Looks neat. The colors do pop, which does help.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool.
Alright, you buy it and you let me know. Bitch. And the character's name is...
I think it's gonna do well? No.
And the main character's name is Jack. This game is too much. This game is uncreative.
It sucks because, like, I'm never excited about anything until I get to play it. Because you never know, like, what they're going to take away or what it's really going to be in the game until it's actually out. I mean, it's usually unless it's like the same, like a Call of Duty, right? Every year you know what you're getting.
It's funny you mentioned that about like stuff being reworked. That's the thing I felt about like when I saw Miyazaki on like the times list of like, I love the Souls games, but there's like so many times where like looking up Souls lore, it's like, oh yeah, here's this lore about this one character, which by the way, a lot of his stuff that we based upon is cut content that's like not there anymore. That was part of the original story, but like at the last minute they decided to cut it out.
Yeah.
It's like, god damn it. It's like, just leave it in. But that's the thing, they cut it out, but they still leave like the hints that led to that, and it's just like, why even though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Souls games, but uh yeah, I mean, like I said, this game looks pretty interesting. Looks pretty all right. I don't know if I'm like reading the article I'm reading about the story gets me interested, but who knows? Maybe it might be like a sleeper hit for all we know.
Yeah. I mean, just from watching this little video, I feel excited for what it could be,
Mm.
but again, I'm always just so like used to games letting me down. So like,
Yeah.
hopefully it's good. I hope it's good. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's
I think
cool.
I would like to see more gameplay of like its mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. In due time. When is this supposed to come out? Um
I think sometime this year now.
July.
July 2023.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to them. Speaking of good luck. So, you want to take this one?
Is this a squad?
Yeah, this is the squad.
Okay. Uh, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will now launch in 224.
224.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I'm sorry. 2224. Jesus Christ. Sorry. My
two
bad.
two.
I was 20 years too early.
I was gonna say 2004. We're going back in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Well, technically, if I said 4, I guess it would technically be the year 4, but you know what
Yeah, 3004.
I mean.
Thoughts?
Let me see. Does this person actually have a post of everything? Hold on.
God damn.
No, they don't. Please take time. Yeah. Thoughts on it? I see. It's a lot of but like you really got to think of like you, as in like the people that are excited about it.
Mm.
Because personally, I don't care. I'm not a big like Justice League person. Um, the thought on like it being delayed in general is kind of crazy because this is like the 5th time, right?
Third.
The 3rd time. Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to release in 2021. Then it got delayed to 2022, and then it got delayed. No. Sorry, it got delayed 2022, then 2023, and then now 2024.
Okay, so it's pretty inexcusable at this point.
So a lot of it has been said that it's being due to polishing the game, but I think it's mostly the speculation is because of the criticism it's gotten because of the whole battle pass thing and it looking like a microtransaction game.
So
So
stupid.
I mean, a lot of people were not happy about what they showed during that state of play. That they were like, oh yeah, by the way, look at all these buffs for your guns and this battle pass that you can do as well. And in this game, that's mostly just co-op. Everybody was like, they kind of don't want that. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the last game Kevin Conroy did as Batman, so do what you will with that. And it's also supposed to take place in the Arkhamverse, so I don't know how the fuck that's even part of this. You like the Arkham games, right? Hello?
I'm trying to think if I like them or not.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you still there?
1 and 2 were fun to me. Everything after that wasn't great.
You didn't like Arkham Origins?
No.
You didn't like Arkham Knight.
No, honestly, I think it was just too much Batman for me.
Batman. Why do you hate Batman?
I don't. I really liked 1 and 2. Again, like I just think like so real quick. 2, the Joker died, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of just was like, oh, that's a good ending. And then like they were like, here's more, and I was like, I don't care.
But they kill Batman in Arkham Knight. Which that also is the other thing. I don't know where the fuck this is supposed to take
That
place.
just ruined it for me. God, you should have been like, yo, go play it. It's so good. But now I have to know Batman's dead.
Yeah, Batman's dead.
Ruined it.
Yeah, Batman's super dead. Batman died. Batman's very dead. Anyways, when is this supposed to take place? Because, like I said, this is supposed to be part of the Arkhamverse, so it's like, I don't know how it coincides with the whole thing that happens at Arkham Knight. And
You'll be able to find out in 2024.
Yeah, we'll find out in 2024. Anyways, talking about leaving and stuff that, yeah, it's just straight up leaving.
Yeah, let's talk about circles.
Joseph Staten, one of the last people that worked on the original Halo, is leaving Microsoft. Halo's in a really weird state.
Dude, I like it. Halo will always be around, I think, but it kind of feels like
kind of dead.
That's what you said. It's a bad state. Like, is it gonna stick around for sure?
I mean, it's Microsoft's biggest IP besides Gears of War. But that's the problem, is that when the whole layoff things started happening, it's just like Microsoft is not in a great state as well. Because I think even with the Coalition, the division that's making most of the Gears games, there hasn't been really any word about like their next project. They just basically had to come out in a statement when the layoffs were happening, being like, we're okay. I guess we lost a couple people, but we're okay. But now with Joseph Staten leaving, I don't know. And he's like the last of the old guard that used to be part of the Halo peeps. So
yeah,
like I said, I don't know where the fucking idea of Halo is gonna go, because even back then when it got when most of Halo got transferred to 343, 343 went in a completely, not a completely, but like they went in a very different direction as to like what Halo was doing. And like I said, the Bungie Halo were, I gotta admit, were the good Halos, because you had that whole thing of Halo being a sci-fi game at the beginning and then just turning into a horror game like at the midpoint. And I think that was like one of the most surprising things when I started playing Halo. But to be fair, to give 343 its credit, Halo 4 is not a bad game. I don't think Halo 4 is a bad game. I don't think Halo, I don't know if Halo 4 has a bad rep with a lot of people, but I know a lot of people who like Halo don't like 343's Halos. The only game that I would have to say is like kind of iffy is Halo 5. Halo 5 is a little iffy. But it's not terrible. And then I have no idea about Infinite, but like even then Infinite's whole shit was kind of a mess because of the amount of delays. Originally, Infinite was supposed to be an Xbox Series X launch game, and then it got delayed a lot. It got delayed multiple times. And then eventually released, but then you got like the multiplayer first and then the story, the actual campaign. And then what I've been hearing is that the campaign's kind of like mid. And even to a point where like they were planning on doing like story content for it, but then they were just like, nah, we're not doing it anymore. Because I believe it's because of the layoffs. So yeah, like I said, Halo's in a very weird state. So is Gears of War. I don't know, man. Did Master Chief fight the last fight? Is he going to fight another fight?
The last fight is him trying to get fucking in and out of his wheelchair.
Yeah, and being like, Cortana, wheelchair.
It's so fucking time to get rid of Master Chief and start bringing in a new fucking face, man.
A new Master Chief?
If you're gonna keep Halo going, like let's do it.
I mean, I'm trying to think what game kind of did that. Halo 5 tried to do that. No, I'm talking about like story wise. Halo 5 tried to do that
Oh,
with like
yeah.
Locke showing up. Sergeant Locke. I think his name is I think he's Sergeant Locke.
Fuck Halo. It's not PlayStation.
Okay. Arbiter. I'm Master Chief.
Good.
Cortana. Move my wheelchair. Oh god. Dude, even the story of Halo, bro, the story of Halo is like one of the most wonkiest shit in the world, because it's like Halo 5, like Halo 4 was like, oh no, my wife, my robot AI wife is super sick, I gotta get her to safety. And then fucking Halo 5, when you get to the Master Chief part, he's like, I'm very sad that my AI wife is not with me anymore. Oh no, my AI wife has turned out to be evil. That was like the goofiest shit in the world. I forget how that thing ends. I don't remember how the fuck Halo 5 ends, and I fucking beat it too. On fucking Legendary. I don't remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Cortana was like, I'm going to make everyone an AI. And then Master Chief was like, Cortana, don't do that. And that was basically it.
Cortantian.
Cortana, don't call the Guardians. I don't know. I'm trying to make Master Chief kind of sound like Solid Snake a little bit. Yeah, Halo's fucking weird. I entered Halo at a weird fucking time, bro. Fucking this year, literally. This year when I was playing all the Halo games. It sucks because like Halo has such an interesting world, but like the problem is that a lot of it is like hidden behind fucking books or comic books that I'm probably never gonna read. And then, you know, you get this shit where it's like, yeah, the series is basically dead at this point. Because Master Chief won't go in his wheelchair. Anyways, let's get away from this. I feel bad for Halo.
Thank God. All right.
I'm gonna play Halo Infinite eventually.
God, you play Halo Infinite and you do it, you fucking do.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna enjoy it. Well, Master Chief is shooting aliens with his wheelchair.
Final Fantasy. I don't
Final.
know. I can't read that number. 16?
Yep, you got it. Jesus
Oh,
Christ, you can't
man.
read Roman numerals?
No, I'm fucking dumb, dude.
Wow.
That's fucking stupid as shit.
How you can tell the difference between 4 and 6 is that the I is before for 4.
Yeah, you gotta subtract and all that shit.
Yeah.
Numbers, things, great.
You gotta subtract. No, I'm just saying. Anyways.
Well, because 5 is the V.
5
and
is the
then you put
V.
the I in front of it, and I always in my head thought you subtract the 1 to the 5.
Sorry. Wolverine.
Now eat me.
But stuff that we should be eating. Well, I was eating good when I was watching the State of Play. So this this State of Play for Final Fantasy 16 showed up when was it? Like 2 days? Yeah, 2 days ago. Yo,
Dude,
this
16 looks so good.
Oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good. Like I'm looking at this and then I'm like, oh man, this is the game for me because it's an action game. But then I'm thinking about all the people that fucking love the turn-based like Final Fantasy stuff, and I could imagine they fucking hate this. I could imagine it's like Final Fantasy has diverted so far that it's just like unrecognizable. But for me, as somebody that's not like super into Final Fantasy, I don't give a fuck. I want to play this shit.
I think it looks great.
Holy shit, this looks.
Were people complaining about it?
You have some old Final Fantasy heads that are just like the story just looks not that interesting. Well, not just Final Fantasy heads, but you have some people saying that like the game story does not look that interesting. Like it's trying to go for a very dark world, which I mean Final Fantasy has tried to do before with like some dark elements. But having the character action aspect is not Final Fantasy. But like I said, I personally, me, Chanch, a person that loves fucking Devil May Cry, like, I don't care. And also Torgal. Look at that good pupper. That's a good dog. Torgal is a good dog. I don't care what anybody says. Also, the music is also phenomenal, but that's also to be expected by the composers of
Dude,
14.
anything these people touch, from like, no, it's not Sony, Square Enix.
Mhm.
I think it's, I can't remember.
I think it's Creative Business Unit 3. I think is the actual development studio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever, but like the orchestra, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're called. The people that write the music and do the music and everything. So good.
Yeah.
Always so good.
The composer's name is Soken, I believe.
Thank you, composer. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
why can I not think the words?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that like I know nothing about Final Fantasy 14 except for the music, and I've heard a couple of tracks. Holy fuck, is it amazing. It is so goddamn good. It is wild. He also did, I think, some like, because they did like a whole Nier Automata event for Final Fantasy 14, and there's like some stuff that like he did with like the Nier music, and it's just like a remix of those songs, and it's amazing. It is so fucking good. But yeah, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16. Besides the action, the story, and the music, it's just like it just looks like a phenomenal game. I can't wait. I'm glad I got a PS5. I'm glad I got a PS5. But that's what's the other thing is that like I'm not too sure about where the story goes. I'm already coming up with like theories in my head of like what the story is trying to convey. But for all I know, I could be wrong. I could be just wrong. But regardless, the battles look fucking cool. When you fucking playing as Ifrit and you're like running on like all these fucking tentacles from Titan, it's just like this wild shit of like dumb monster fights. We got to this point. It looks so cool though.
Dude, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16. And that's the thing is that like I liked 15, but 15 had a lot of issues. And I'm really hoping 16 doesn't have. It's not. From what I've been seeing, it doesn't have those issues. And I think the good part is that it's not focusing on doing like outside media as much as 15 tried to do, where 15 tried to promote an anime and then a CG movie, and then
Not Animu.
The anime was okay from what I remember, but it was just like, oh, these little travel mishaps with the boys, and that's
The boys.
that was basically it.
Yeah.
And then the CG movie was like, the problem with Final Fantasy 15 is that the CG movie is so important, because it's like, what the fuck happened back at Noctis's kingdom? You gotta watch the movie, bitch.
Nocris.
Nocris and his home of insomnia. And it's like, okay.
The only song I have is In.
The only insomnia I know is that Robin Williams movie with Al Pacino. It's a good movie. You should watch it. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm really hoping Final Fantasy 16 doesn't do anything to try to divert itself with any other media spin-offs or anything like that. I mean, who knows? If the game does successfully well, maybe there is like a manga that comes out from this, or like an anime or something else, but like something that's based around the world, but that's not anything so critical to the game where it's like, well, you need to read or watch this supplementary material in order to get what the fuck happened in this game. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, Jesus Christ, this fucking cool ass giant monster battles are so cool. It looks so stupid and I love it. Yeah. And also like the button mashing shit, like the QTEs really reminds me of Asura's Wrath. You remember Asura's Wrath, right?
Wait, the God game?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at the footage and like you see the square button and it's like mash the square button and it's like, oh man, that really reminds me of fucking Asura's Wrath.
I feel like I watched you play it, unless I'm wrong.
I did not ever play Asura's Wrath on stream.
I swear I thought I thought I watched you, man.
Wow. Okay. Anyways, go buy Final Fantasy 16. Go buy it.
I mean, I'm going to for sure.
It's coming out in June. So get hyped. Speaking of stuff to get hyped or not hyped about, unfortunately, Guilty Gear Strive has been having some ongoing issues with its network mode. So this is a thing that's been happening for like a good couple weeks at this point, that Guilty Gear has been having really weird online issues, where some people have been stating that it was a hacker or a hack that's been going on in the game. According to Arc System Works, it's not human related. So what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But they're still trying to figure out the issues with the network. But there's somebody going around in the fighting game community that's trying to do like their own investigations to show Arc System Works that there is a thing that can happen if you open up the chat text in the online mode, where it creates like some kind of exploit that causes the hacking. So yeah, Guilty Gear Strive is in a really weird state where, you know, obviously the game was praised for its really good online to now having online issues such as hacking. So it's unfortunate, but here we are. Here we are.
Guilty Gear.
Guilty
Getting
Gear.
even more guilty with more gear.
Guilty Gear. But yeah, and it's unfortunate too because like, a new character just dropped, which I have not played at all. I should probably check out that character. But yeah, Bedman has come in, or Bedman, because there's a question mark at the end of it. But anyways, Guilty
Bed?
Gear. Yeah, he's a bed. He's a bed man.
Bed?
Bed man. I was about to say, like, I know you're trying to do like a little joke thing, but nah, for reals, he's an actual bed.
Can't believe he's a bed, man.
Guilty Gear. Who truly is the guiltiest gear?
We've been guilted this whole fucking time.
So bad guy is not really a bad guy. Yeah, unfortunately for Guilty Gear. And that's it for the news. We got through the news. We did it.
Truly did.
We became the guiltiest gears. We pushed Master Chief out of his wheelchair. And we talk about idle revenge animes. We did it.
Hell
we do
yeah.
it. Hell yeah. All right, we're done. Bye.